Metcalf was able to hold that, but they stay with the puck back behind the net. Blue got it, took a chance out in front to Zeal with a tap in that will score. Parks out of the shotgun, takes the snap, stepping, looking, back shoulder fade to Mackey, and he catches it for a Red River touchdown.
It's time for the best in local sports coverage with KNOX Live Sports and News Radio 1310 KNOX.
Puck goes free to the high slot, picked up Lovejoy, wrister, and he scores. Reardon working right side, defended the entire way. A stop by Dookie. She looks into J.C. Reardon, the high-low is there.
The following is a presentation of KNOX Live Sports, presented by Rivard's Turf and Forage and Grand Trailer Sales.
Off to the right, down to the doorstep. Hoganson, a backhander, he scores. What a play for Griffin Hoganson.
Let's go live to tonight's presentation.
Well, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you tonight to Cushman Field here in Grand Forks as we get set for the latest edition of Grand Forks Central Knights football on the Rivard's Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports. Ryan Cunningham with you here this evening. Jacob Lindeman will have our videography work down below us, and an undefeated Grand Forks Central Knights football team comes home to take on the Wahpeton Huskies this evening. Should be an excellent matchup. There are still enough athletes on the Wapeton side of the field to make things a very long day for Grand Forks Central. Now, the Huskies may not have had the season that they've wanted to as of yet, but a couple of years ago when they were right in the running with a couple of different teams in this level, they had some athletes that were very impressive, and a few of those are still hanging around. The likes of Braden Steffens, who's received 405 yards in passing coverage so far this year. A couple of different quarterbacks, including Jack Gilbertson, who's a hard-nosed quarterback today that comes out running and throwing the football. And this is a very dangerous Wahpeton Huskies offense, as you'll hear later in our pregame report. Jake Schauer, the head coach of the Knights, will tell us that his coaching staff hates playing Wahpeton. Those are his exact words, and he says it's absolutely no insult to the Wahpeton program. It's just the situation of Wahpeton being able to do some things offensively against you that you really don't want to defend because they've got some quality athletes in some quality spots. But this Central team has got quality athletes in quality spots, including on the defensive side. A defense that got a workout last week, but the offense is what prevailed in the opening regional game of the year. Grand Forks Central goes to Fargo South and wins last week by a score of 41-38, having the lead, losing the lead, and coming back from down a pair of scores in the fourth quarter to beat the Fargo South Bruins. And that's a huge win for Central because it keeps their momentum after an undefeated non-conference season where they started the year 4-0. That was the first game that matters, and that's one of the things about high school football, particularly with the way that this AA level is set up. You can go ahead and play a month of football and you feel good about yourself. Perhaps you don't feel that good about yourself, but at the end of the day, nothing mattered in those first 4 weeks, and so last week was the first week that mattered, and Grand Forks Central went on the road and beat a very talented Fargo South football team to start the divisional run with a 1-0 mark. This Wapeton team, as we mentioned, has had some struggles throughout the course of the year, and they come in with a little bit of something to prove right now in this matchup, as they're probably better than what they've been able to show you so far this season. And that really is a tough part for Wapeton because a couple of years ago, they were in a situation where they were challenging the likes of Grand Forks, Red River, and West Fargo Horace to try to be in that state championship game. But so far this season, it's been a little bit of a different road for Wapeton, playing still in the AA level, playing in the East region. They're 0-5 on the season, and their last matchup was a 40-0 loss at the hands of Central Cass. They've been beaten this year by Jamestown at home. They went on the road and were beaten by Watford City, went on the road and lost a close matchup with Devils Lake a couple of weeks ago, and they were beaten last week at home, 2 weeks ago rather, by Bismarck St. Mary's before losing that matchup with Central Cass. One of the things about this Wahpeton Husky team coming into tonight, they're not going to be the best version of themselves. We heard down below that this Wahpeton Husky team has got a lot of very key injuries to it right now that will change the way they want to go about playing this football game tonight. And so we'll see if they can hang in with Grand Forks Central against a bruising defense that the Knights can throw at you tonight. But it's a statement game for Central because it's homecoming. Central wants to win a game that they're supposed to win on their home field, but it would put them at 2-0 inside the conference. They would have a 6-0 mark if they can prevail with a victory, and they would have an opportunity to start continuing that momentum into what will be the stretch run of the season. So this is a big game tonight coming up for the Knights, and we're glad you joined us for it here at Cushman Field in Midtown, where it's gonna be warm. We had a daytime high of 90 degrees. It was kind of a dry heat that came in today, though, so hopefully that won't take that big a toll on the athletes today. We are getting ready for rain later on this weekend, but tonight it looks like it will stay away. We're going to have hot, we're going to have breezes. It's not quite like the fall football that we're used to, but nonetheless, we're going to see some pretty good football tonight, and we think in spots this Wapeton team will be a challenging matchup for Grand Forks Central. We'll hear more about that in our pregame report as we continue with Jake Schauer, the head coach of the Knights, coming up in our pregame conversation in a bit. And we bring it to you tonight courtesy of our premier sports partners, and they include Rivard's Turf and Forage. They are a premium seed dealer in Grand Forks. You'll find all of their products online at rivards.com. Again, that's rivards.com. And this time of the year, you start getting ready for a couple of things, planning out some forage products for next year, but also when it does finally happen, and we're talking about that snow that's going to finally come, you're going to want some of their premium ice melter that they have because they do a great job with that product. It's well known out there that that product is one of the top of the line when it comes down to melting ice, and so check to them for that. But also remember, they mix and match all of their seed varieties at their plant in Grand Forks. It's not like buying from the big box stores where it's one and done for the year. They change up to meet the growing conditions that we've had throughout the region, and they've got science on their side. And you can find out more by visiting rivards.com. And we bring it to you tonight courtesy of Grand Trailer Sales, your home for all things trailer in East Grand Forks. Grand Trailer Sales is ready to get your trailer moving again, whether it's time to repair the trailer that you currently have or it's time for you to go ahead and move up to that next level of trailer. Whether you're hauling for fun or you're hauling for business, they have you covered at Grand Trailer Sales in East Grand Forks on Highway 2 East. Stop and see them. They are our premier sports partners for the season. Our countdown to kickoff tonight is presented by Nelson Auto in Grand Forks and by Mike's Custom Truck in Northwood. For those of you on the video side, you can see that we're at 38 minutes on the countdown clock to get ready for Homecoming 2025 for Grand Forks Central to commence. So get ready for this one tonight with a 6 o'clock kickoff, and our countdown to kickoff this evening is brought to you by Nelson Auto, proud to be in Grand Forks, and our countdown to kickoff brought to you by Mike's Custom Truck in Northwood, helping your vehicle perform. Now, as we continue our pregame report in a couple of moments, we'll hear from Jake Schauer, the head coach of the Grand Forks Central Knights, a review of last week's matchup. We'll also let you see coming into tonight where the teams stack up, not just these teams, but teams overall. Those of you that will be looking in, you'll be able to take a look at our top 5 AA football poll and also a look at the AA East region standings. So stick around for that coming up on our pregame show. We'll also have our player spotlight tonight. We have a defensive back from Grand Forks Central. Zabe Martin will join us for our player spotlight tonight. And then, of course, our conversation will continue with Jake Schauer in part 2, where he talks about matching up with this Wapeton Husky team. And it's such a funny comment to hear from the head coach saying that the staff from Grand Forks Central hates playing Wapeton. And again, it has nothing to do with a lack of respect or anything like that for the Huskies, just the way that they are able to come at you offensively, the creative way that they try to spread out the field. There are some real challenges going after this Wapeton Husky team for a defense from Grand Forks Central that's pretty good, but gave up quite a few points last week. That's all coming up in our pregame report and our starting lineups and football scheduled for a 6 o'clock start tonight. Glad you joined us here this evening. For those of you that are joining us in Wapeton on KBMW, we thank you for joining us as well. We're bringing you what we hope to be a good matchup tonight here at Cushman Field between the Grand Forks Central Knights and the Wapeton Huskies. Our pregame report will continue in just a couple of moments, so do stay with us. This is our coverage of high school football, Central and Wapeton, on the Rivard's Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports. And we'll come back with more of our pregame report in just a couple of moments. Stay with us.
Rust, salt, and time are the biggest enemies for a fuel tank. Never fear, because Grand Forks Welding is here to take care of your enemies for you. We not only fix or patch your tanks, but we can custom fabricate any kind of replacement fuel tanks or service unit. Go to grandforkswelding.com.
Your family deserves clean, filtered water. High Plains Water offers Millennium Drink Water System,
which delivers great tasting water and also eliminates harmful impurities. Professionally installed and maintained by High Plains Water of Grand Forks. See them at highplainswater.com.
Big Jim's Tire is the area's #1 farm and ag tire supplier, and with harvest here, you want the best. Best tires, best service, and Big Jim's will get it done fast to get you moving again. Big Jim's Tire, Grand Forks.
Today, the PS stands for proper service for your home, farm, or business, which is what you'll get from the team at PS Garage Doors in Grand Forks. Whether you need a door fixed or just thinking about replacing what you already have, get your proper service at psgaragedoors.com.
Nothing feels or performs better than a properly fitted golf club. Whether it's irons, driver, or putter, call us today for your free club fitting. For over 30 years, the Golf Center in Grand Forks has been your club fitting leader.
Pro Ag in Grand Forks and Grafton carries the equipment and parts on hand to make your farming operation run smooth. They carry all major brands like Honeybee, Alloway, Amity, Artex, Hardy, Capello, Monosem, Pickett, Blue Rich, and Black Ace. So whether you're trading in, buying, or just need parts, go to ProAgEquip.com to see everything Pro Ag has to offer.
We very much take a lot of pride in our work. Customer service has always been our #1.
We have the best materials. You're going to have the best people in the area to do the job.
If you can dream it up, we can make it happen.
Or head to gworkslf.com to get started.
From tears in your car, truck, boat, or farm equipment seats to making boat covers or complete restorations of the interior of your hot rod, Finest Auto Trim in Grand Forks can make the inside of your rides look brand new. Big or small, Finest Auto Trim can cover it all. To get a quote, go to finestautotrim.com.
This is the KNOX pregame show, brought to you by True North Equipment, true to your values, driven by you, and Signature Graphics and Apparel. Make your vision come to life.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school football tonight in the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports. Central is at home tonight with a record of 5-0 to take on the 0-5 Wahpeton Huskies this evening here at Cushman Field in Grand Forks. And our pregame report this evening is brought to you by our friends at True North Equipment. True to your values, ready to serve you with 10 locations all throughout the Red River Valley. True North Equipment is the home of those John Deere products that you've come to know and love generationally in our area. When it's time for service or it's time for something new, it's time for True North Equipment. You'll find them with 10 locations throughout the Red River Valley. And our pregame report tonight brought to you as well by our friends that we have at the Ski and Bike Shop, as well as the friends that we have today at our friends at High Plains Water, your source for awesome water in Grand Forks. And we're glad to have you along with us here today as we continue along. Also, our pregame report this evening is brought to you by Signature Graphics and Apparel. It's your vision. Make it come to life at Signature Graphics and Apparel. You'll find them on the Point in East Grand Forks, or near the Point, I should say. A lot of different materials that they can custom etch and affix to clothing. We're talking about wood, metal, plastic, and that turns into something truly unique to put your logo to work, whether it's for your team or for your business. Signature Graphics and Apparel. Stop and see them near the Point in East Grand Forks. They bring you our pregame report here this evening. Grand Forks Central at home to take on the Wapeton Huskies tonight. Part one of our coaches conversation that we have with you this evening, it's Jake Schauer, the head coach of the Grand Forks Central Knights. This team goes on the road last week, does Grand Forks Central, to Fargo South to start out divisional play. And we had seen in some of the comparative scoring throughout the year that the AA West was probably not going to be the same caliber of the AA East. Top end, sure, but in the midway and down towards the end of the pack, it looked like the AA Eastern part of the state was going to be a little stronger. So going into Fargo South, well, there's plenty of unknowns when they've got some athletes, and it turned into an absolute track meet that Grand Forks Central won by a score of 41-38 in that matchup. It wasn't the way they drew it up. They won it with the offense, not the defense, but nonetheless, Central got out of Fargo with a victory to go to 1-0 on the season with their win over Fargo South. And in part one of our conversation with Jake Schauer, we talk it through tonight. The head coach of the Knights joins us to give us a rundown of that game. Our coaches conversation tonight presented by Acme Equipment and Acme Tools. They're your Kubota dealers with a full line of Kubota products to help you do your very best work. You'll find them on Gateway right across from Simplot. Their full line of Kubota right there. And if you're a do-it-yourselfer, time for that new tool to make that project work the way you want it to. Their main tool store, North Washington, just a couple of blocks south of Gateway. Any tool you're looking for and the service that it takes to get those running again. You can find them with Acme Equipment and Acme Tools, bringing you our coaches conversation tonight. Jake Schauer, the head coach of the Grand Forks Central Knights, talking through that matchup against Fargo South last week.
Coach, let's go back to last week. A dogfight that you had with Fargo South. Had the lead, lost the lead, had to come from behind. I don't recall a game between yourself and Fargo South going normally the last few years, but it's a win. You'll take it. But kind of recap how you set that up with your players as far as having to come from behind, get a win, stay undefeated. What was the message for the team after that game was over last Friday?
Yeah, I think we talked a lot last week about how you can't look at records. You know, I don't want to put shame on anyone or you compare schedules or anything, but Fargo South's had a gauntlet of a schedule. When you go play a Minot North and you're playing Fargo North, a AAA team, you know, that's a little tougher schedule than some of us have had non-conference. So to look at their record and try to judge them is just ridiculous. They're one of the more athletic teams that we will see this year. And we preached that all week. They've got speed everywhere. And when we got up to an early, well, first of all, they punched us in the mouth right away. I was like, oh boy, it could be a long night. But, you know, when we responded the way we did with Naz and Zayd having those big chunk plays and we got up early, I was like, it's not over. They've got a lot of fight left in them because they've got those players where you get them the ball in space, they're going to go 80 yards, you know, and you're not going to catch them. So we knew that coming out of the second half, they were going to be ready to go, and they were. And then it's how do we find a way to claw back? And, you know, I think a lot of our guys had a lot of poise. You know, I think of Brooklyn Bruce on Friday night, and he wasn't coming off that field without a W. You know, he earned a lot more respect from me, not that he didn't already have it. But these kids fought hard on Friday, and now we can't avoid a letdown. We can't think about that game. We just got to move on and keep taking it one game at a time.
One of the tests, though, Coach, I mean, all year you and I have talked about we're testing a quarterback or we're testing a defense or we're testing running backs or whatever. That game just seems like a test of just pure resilience. How do you respond? You needed the mental test at this point, didn't you?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. We were fortunate, win or lose. We needed a game where someone came and kicked us in the mouth and we had to answer. And fortunate for us, we won, and that's a huge conference win. But that game showed a lot about our guys. They're not going to quit. You know, win, lose, or draw, they're going to fight till the end. And we preach that a lot at Central football. You know, we pride ourselves on being a tough, physical football team that even if we don't have the talent the other team has, our toughness is hopefully going to balance that out a little bit.
Coach, let's talk about where you're at with personnel going into this push now. You're into week number 2 of the conference season. You've been rotating quarterbacks. It seems like you might continue to do that to a certain extent. Is there one there that's winning a little bit more time than perhaps the other? And Naz Fisher seems to just sort of gravitated as the leader in the running back room. He's making some big things happen right now. So from a personnel standpoint, how do you feel about your team right now?
I feel really good, you know, and I used to like really put a lot of pressure on myself and our offensive coaches to say, okay, I need one quarterback. I need one. We got to make a decision, you know, chart practices. We got to make a decision. But, you know, when you do that, they both have identical stats at practice. So it's like, okay, how do you make a call there? And it's like, both of them do different things really well. You know, you talk about Noah Lease. He's a kid who's improved a lot over the last 2 years. He plays safe football. He doesn't throw interceptions. He can run a little bit more. He's a tough physical kid. You might not look it, but he's pretty stuck together, 185 pounds, and he'll run you over if you need to. And then Brody Ledegy, I mean, he's got a huge arm, really big arm, can spread you out. Really headsy kid. You can tell he's played a lot of different sports. So to have both those guys in the program, instead of looking at it as a detriment, it's really a blessing. And then as far as running backs, we're still going to run 4 or 5. Naz has turned some heads. I mean, to have 500 yards after 6 games and not be the true guy who's getting 20 carries a game is a pretty impressive stat. You know, that's something a lot of people don't realize is that we're not force-feeding Naz the ball 20 times a game. Naz gets the ball his 10 to 15 times. Anton's going to still get the ball. Cutterba's going to get the ball. Voorhees will get the ball. Sherrick will get the ball. That's how everyone's going to eat at Grand Forks Central. We'll say that.
Those comments from the head coach of the Grand Forks Central Knights in part one of our conversation, Jake Schauer, and everyone's going to eat at Grand Forks Central. Well, that running back core for the Knights, for those of you that aren't familiar with the season that they've had so far, has been absolutely impressive this year. Naz Fisher has rushed for 528 yards in 5 games, but that's on 61 carries. So if you do the math, you take out 61 carries, 528 yards. That's a really good clip as far as an average per carry. But then the other players that factor into this, Trey Clausen has caught 4 balls for 100 yards. Johnny Sherrick, 25 carries for 127. Carson Cutterba, who's just a sophomore, 24 carries for 153. And Anton Perales is the workhorse who gets the start tonight, 43 carries for 186 yards. And Logan Voorhees is on the stat sheet as well. I mean, there's 5 legitimate running backs. That's one of the ways that Grand Forks Central will look to keep you guessing a little bit when they come into this matchup with Wahpeton here tonight. Let's take a look at Drive for the Title as we continue with our pregame report. Our pregame report brought to you this evening by True North Equipment, true to your values and ready to serve you with 10 locations in the Red River Valley, and brought to you by Signature Graphics and Apparel. It's your vision. Make it come to life at Signature Graphics and Apparel. For those of you that are on the video side of things, you can see the standings on your screen. And for those of you on the radio side, we'll certainly tell you about that. Those of you on the radio side on the way somewhere looking to take this one in when you get to where you're going, you can find us at KNOXradio.com, and you can also find us at KNOX TV on YouTube. So KNOXradio.com, KNOX TV on YouTube, the way that you'll find our video coverage coming up here tonight. Minot North, 17 of 21 first place votes in the state AA poll. They are the team that really is going to turn heads as far as the West is concerned, because the next 4 teams in the state AA poll are all from the East region. Kindred got 4 of the 21 first place votes. They're currently 5-0, and Central's the other team out here that's 5-0. They're coming in the number 3 spot this week. Then it's Devils Lake and Central Cass, each 4-1, going in the number 4 and number 5 spots. But all of those teams behind Minot North are currently 2, 3, 4, and 5, all from the East. And one of the reasons why Minot North getting the nod right now, well, they ended up winning this thing, or actually dropping a semifinal game last year. But they did that with absolutely no seniors on the team because of their starting program that they had at that point. So when you have that going on, you've got everybody coming back from a semifinal team, and the 2 teams that finished in the state championship game, one graduated very hard. That, of course, was Grand Forks Red River. And then the other team, West Fargo Horace, well, they end up being in a situation where they're at the 3A level now. And so between those 2 situations, you're going to get the nod when you are Minot North. Now, as far as the standings are concerned, coming into tonight, Central, Kindred, Central Cass all started off with the win, 5-0, 5-0, 5-1. Grand Forks Red River, Fargo South, Wapeton took losses. Red River lost to Kindred last week, and that's not an embarrassing loss. The Kindred Vikings are a really, really good football team. South gave Grand Forks Central a run, and this Wapeton team, as we mentioned, 0-5, but they were beaten by Central Cass badly with an injury-laden crew. We'll see if they've got some players back to try to make this a little bit better game for them coming up tonight. And that is a look at Drive for the Title this evening here on our pregame report from Grand Forks Central and Wapeton. Want to thank our listeners that are joining us on KBMW in Wapeton tonight as well for our radio coverage of this matchup. Stick around because we'll continue along. Our player spotlight is on the way next. Zayden Martin from Grand Forks Central will be our player spotlight that we feature here tonight. And our coaches conversation will continue with part 2 of that coaches conversation, brought to you by Acme Equipment and Acme Tools in just a bit, where you'll hear the preview of this Wapeton Husky matchup. So stay with us as we continue with our pregame report, brought to you tonight again by Signature Graphics and Apparel and True North Equipment. It's Central and Wapeton this evening in homecoming for the Grand Forks Central Knights on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports in Grand Forks, and on KBMW in Wapeton. We're back with more in just a couple of moments. We invite you to stay with us. We'll come back after a short break here in our pregame report.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting someone who pays attention to the little things that make a big difference. And to keep your family cool this summer, it takes Bryant.
Connect with Thermal Air today, your Bryant certified dealer.
In Grand Forks, it's about more than just where you live. It's about the people you trust when life happens. At Logan Karski State Farm, we're proud to protect what matters most. I'm Logan Karski with State Farm, and we'd be honored to be your good neighbor.
When the lights go out, count on the pros. Bergstrom Electric in Grand Forks, the area's largest full-service electrical contractor. From commercial builds to homes, they're trusted for quality, safety, and award-winning work. Call today, 701-775-8897.
When you need the right part for your pickup, head to Northwood or call Mike's Custom Truck. Amanda will drop ship any part you need: turbos, upgraded fuel pumps, Edge products, and more. Mike's Custom Truck, 587-6335.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
Hey, this is Pastor Paul. I'd like to welcome you to Hope Church, especially if you're a person that doesn't have a place where you hang out spiritually. We would love for you to come and experience hope and find God. Hope Church, 9, 10:30, and 6 p.m. on Sundays. For more information, you can check out gfhope.org.
Pick 6 for $19.99, a perfect meal for two.
That's gotta rhyme.
Well, how about munching on Pick 6, my mouth going yap, yap. People always staring at my wings, they go flap, flap. Dave is so surprised because he didn't know I'd rap. Pick 6 meal for two for $19.99.
H&S Electrical Services is proud to support local high school sports. From homes to industry, we deliver safe, reliable electrical solutions. Locally owned and operated, our skilled team ensures quality and service you can trust. H&S, trusted in your homes and businesses.
This is the KNOX pregame show. Brought to you by True North Equipment. True to your values, driven by you. And Signature Graphics and Apparel. Make your vision come to life.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school football tonight in the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports this evening. We are at Cushman Field in Grand Forks and happy to have you with us. Also on KBMW in Wapeton tonight as we get ready for Wapeton and Grand Forks Central. The Knights are at home 5-0 in homecoming for 2025. Looking forward to seeing what they can get done as far as homecoming coming up tonight. And for the Wapeton Huskies, 0-5 going on the road tonight inside the region. KBMW, KNOX with radio coverage. Grand Forks for KNOX, KBMW in Wahpeton, and also on KNOX Live Sports this evening. Our countdown to kickoff is brought to you tonight by Nelson Auto in Grand Forks. We're now down to 19 minutes before we get to the kickoff level. Those of you on the video screen, you can see the countdown clock, and it's brought to you by Nelson Auto in Grand Forks and Mike's Custom Truck in Northwood. Nelson Auto, happy to be in the Grand Forks family, and Mike's Custom Truck ready to help your rig perform, ready to help your next vehicle perform, and they can send any part to you that you're looking for. Well, it's time for our player spotlight that we have tonight on our pregame report. We've had an opportunity to catch up with athletes from our Grand Forks schools throughout the course of the season. Tonight, Zaid Martin joining us, a defensive back for this Grand Forks Central Knights defense that is very talented, and it was fun to talk with Zaid this evening. He's a big proponent of Grand Forks Central. You'll hear him at the end of our conversation tonight say that if anybody's thinking about going here, it's almost like he's trying to recruit some fellow students to come to Grand Forks Central in the future. Kind of talks about it like a college student might talk about coming to the school that they're currently at, but it was a lot of fun to talk with Zaid as our player spotlight for week number 6 of the high school football season is underway with Zaid Martin of Grand Forks Central.
Tell me a little bit about the younger memories that you have of football. How did you find the game of football, and maybe something that stands out as something fun that you did when you were a younger player playing the game?
So I grew up in football. Like my uncle, he used to play football in Bemidji for the high school, and I always used to go to his games, and it really caught my eye. And so I grew up playing football at like the age of 5. I started playing football ever since, and then I really got into it middle school year because I did take a break, but then I really got into it middle school year, and it was really fun.
Do you have any special memories when you go back and look over your young football career when you were playing at that young age? Something that stands out to you that was really kind of a fun moment that made you fall in love with football?
I'd say probably running in for my first touchdown in like Pee-wee football with flag football. That was pretty fun.
You know, as a guy that never got to score a touchdown because I was up on the line pushing people around, I'm kind of jealous that you say that, but we'll leave that off to the side, okay? Let's talk about you being a student as part of your student athlete title that you carry with you. So obviously you got to hit the books. Zaid, what do you like to study, and what do you see forward as maybe a path for you?
I like to study like computer science, like stuff like that, like technology. And I'm really into rocks, like science. I really like science. Like geology or anything.
I mean, I haven't heard the geology part yet and the rocks part of it yet. What makes you like that, Zaid?
You get to study the whole earth, and it's very interesting. Like, you won't know as much until you take that class, I promise.
I like that. I like that approach. Well, how about when you've got some free time? Obviously, you get to step away once in a while from being an athlete and also being a student. So when you have a chance to explore a hobby or that type of thing, Zaid, what do you like to do?
I like to hang out with my friends a lot. We all get along very well, but sometimes we all like to argue here and there. And I like to play the video games with them a lot too. We all have our own type of bond, so it's pretty nice.
All right, well, let's wrap up with this. Zaid, what has it meant to you to be a Grand Forks Central Knight, to put on that shield with this group of guys? Tell me what the feeling is or what the meaning is for you to be a Grand Forks Central athlete.
I think it means everything to me. Coming from freshman year all the way to senior year, it has been a journey. I really like the guys that I've played with my whole entire high school career. They mean a lot to me. And Central has shown a lot of brotherhood to me. It's all about the program here, and the program is really nice here, and I really do recommend, if anybody wants to come to Central, you come to Central.
You got to respect that recruiting piece that he had going on there at the end in our player conversation tonight with Zaid Martin. Our player spotlight this evening here on KNOX Live Sports and KNOX Radio with the Grand Forks Central Knights. Zaid Martin, I mean, we've had so much fun talking with the players that we've had a chance to talk with throughout the course of the year. And for those of you that might be joining us for the first time, that is a part of our regular pregame report when we're out there covering our high school sports products here tonight. And so if you have the opportunity to catch us in the pregame show, that's definitely something that you'll want to tune in for in the future, because we plan to continue that conversation with the high school athletes all throughout the course of the year. We kind of feature the sport that we have that night, but there will be times we talk about some other sports as well. State golf just coming to an end, and Grand Forks Red River with a solid third-place performance in that state golf championship. We're looking forward to talking more about that and cross-country coming up here in the near future. But that is our player spotlight that we had for this evening, and our player spotlight here on the pregame report, presented by Rivard's Turf and Forage and Grand Trailer Sales. And again, our pregame show tonight brought to you by True North Equipment, true to your values and ready to serve you, along with Signature Graphics and Apparel. It's your vision. Make it come to life at Signature Graphics and Apparel. Well, before we take our next break in the pregame report, let's take a look at our game fuel, our tools for the game that we have for this evening, as we continue along with our pregame show tonight. And our game tools tonight are brought to you by Logan Karski. And Logan Karski is your American Family Insurance, your State Farm Insurance representative that we have brand new to Grand Forks. Logan Karski, our State Farm Insurance representative, came to Grand Forks from Dickinson, has a history with the Dickinson Trinity Titans, and is a huge supporter of high school sports. He's also one of the coaches for the Grand Forks Red River Rough Riders, and it's been great to talk with Logan. No matter what pregame you're trying to put together, when it's coverage for your home, your auto, your health, your life, your farm, he can cover you with State Farm Insurance. Logan Karski, your agent in Grand Forks, bringing you our players to watch this evening with our game tools. For Grand Forks Central, Naz Fisher, going to be one that you're definitely going to want to watch tonight. 528 yards rushing on the year in just 5 games. Heck of a clip for a guy that isn't getting the ball quite like a standard number 1 type running back would, because Central's so deep in the running back room right now. Noah Lease, 424 yards passing this year. Steady Eddie throwing the football. Definitely made some improvements from last year to this year as a quarterback. One of the reasons why the Knights are having success. And also Brooklyn Bruce, this is just a really fun athlete to watch for Grand Forks Central. 285 yards through the air so far this season, and a big playmaker on the defensive side as well. And I know that they're looking forward to seeing if they can break him out and do some more with him. For Wapeton, Braden Steffens is an unbelievable athlete. 405 yards through the air. And Jack Gilbertson, throwing the football, has thrown for 402 yards. Now, there is one part of that tonight that stands out. This Wapeton Huskies team, they have thrown the ball away quite a bit this year. They have 7 touchdown passes and 7 interceptions throughout the course of the year as well. So that's definitely something to keep out for. But Jack Gilbertson, if he plays well, they could be good. And then Trayton King is the other quarterback. He's thrown for 298 yards this season and also rushed for 120. Jack Gilbertson has rushed for 142. So those two quarterbacks in and out will give Grand Forks Central a couple different looks in the backfield this evening. And those are the players to watch tonight with our game tools. They're brought to you by State Farm Insurance. Logan Karski, your agent in Grand Forks. You can see the captains are getting ready to go out to midfield. School songs are underway, and we've got more to do in our pregame report. Up next, part 2 of our conversation with the head coach of the Grand Forks Central Knights, Jake Schauer. We'll have that for you in a moment. Our pregame report brought to you tonight by True North Equipment, true to your values, ready to serve you with 10 locations to serve you throughout the region. And Signature Graphics and Apparel. It's your vision. Make it come to life at Signature Graphics and Apparel. We're back with more in a moment. Our coverage of high school football continues next on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports, KNOX Radio in Grand Forks, and KBMW Radio in Wahpeton.
Whether it's a golf course, your lawn, a pasture on your farm, cover crop, or even a food plot to help you get that big buck, Rivards Turf and Forage of Grand Forks has developed, mixed, and packaged the premium specialized seed you need for almost every application. Go to rivards.com.
Rivals on the ice, united in the stands, and everyone's geared up from Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Hockey gear, fan apparel, Nodak Pride, we've got it all and more. Locally owned, 1004 South Washington Street. Shop local, shop Jarrell's.
Grand Trailer Sales in East Grand Forks is your go-to spot for enclosed utility, flatbed, and dump trailers in the Red River Valley. They have the biggest selection on hand of trailers with great pricing. If you're looking for parts, service, or simply to buy, GrandTrailersales.com.
Signature Graphics in East Grand Forks is your one-stop shop for all your branding and design needs. From embroidery, vinyl wrapping, laser print, and more fully customized from start to finish, all in-house. Signature Graphics, we craft your vision, you watch it come to life.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
It's hard to explain what this feels like. We could try to put it into words, but nothing compares to experiencing it for yourself. You just have to get in the seat.
Visit True North Equipment at any of our 10 locations or at www.truenorthequipment.
Spray Advantage of Grand Forks carries everything you need for the chemical and fertilizer application on your farm. Pumps, tips, and tanks from 3 gallons all the way up to 10,000 gallons on hand. They can help with parts and accessories for the fertilizer and tillage equipment on your farm too. SprayAdvantage.com.
Apex Apparel is your quick turnaround apparel and promotional item shop in Grand Forks. If you're looking for direct-to-garment printing, embroidery work, or a huge selection of promotional items, come to Apex Apparel, your locally owned, family-run, quick turnaround apparel shop in Grand Forks.
The Ski and Bike Shop proudly supports our local high school athletes on the field, the court, and beyond. Just like sports, adventure starts with the right gear. The Ski and Bike Shop, where your next adventure begins.
This is the KNOX pregame show, brought to you by True North Equipment, true to your values, driven by you. And Signature Graphics and Apparel, make your vision come to life.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school football tonight on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports, KNOX Radio in Grand Forks, and KBMW in Wapeton. Ryan Cunningham with you tonight. Jacob Lindemann has our videography work down below. Again, you can join us by following us at KNOXradio.com with our video coverage this evening. Go to the sports page and find the live sports page. That will take you right to the place where all of our video streams are housed. And you can also find us on our YouTube channel. Search KNOX TV on YouTube and favorite, subscribe, make sure that you're following us so you can find out what's happening down the road. Tonight, it's Grand Forks Central and Wapeton set to do battle in an East Region showdown. Central 5-0 and celebrating homecoming. Wapeton comes into the night at 0-5. Our pregame report brought to you this evening by Signature Graphics and Apparel. It's your vision. Make it come to life at Signature Graphics and Apparel, and brought to you tonight by True North Equipment. True to your values, ready to serve you with 10 locations throughout the Red River Valley. Part 2 of our coaches conversation tonight with the head coach of the Grand Forks Central Knights, Jake Schauer, who tells us that his staff hates playing Wahpeton, and he'll tell you there's absolutely no insult intended towards the Huskies. Just the creative way that they attack you with their offensive players makes getting ready for them a challenge. They're going to start 4 wide receivers tonight. They're not going to hide at all who they are, and that's going to make every play nerve-wracking for a head coach on the sidelines, and he'll elaborate more on that. Our pregame conversation brought to you by Acme Equipment and Acme Tools, your Kubota dealers with a full line of Kubota products in Grand Forks. Find their lot out of Kubota products across from Simplot on Gateway. It's time for a new tool for that do-it-yourself project. Their main tool store, North Washington, just a couple of blocks south of Gateway, and Grand Forks has you covered with any tool you're looking for in the service department to make it work again at Acme Equipment and Acme Tools. Jake Schauer joining us for part 2 of our coaches conversation tonight.
Yeah, our coaching staff hates playing Wahpeton, and that's no disrespect to them, but what they do extremely well. Offensively, we always struggle with them. You know, our defensive coaches, I've got more respect for those guys than anyone. But Wapeton's offense always seems to be kind of just a pain in our side. We can go play the number 1 team in the state and play them better than Wapeton sometimes, you know. So we really respect what they do over there. Defensively, they're going to send a lot of pressure. I know they're kind of in a situation where we were last year. They really like their quarterback, but he's only a sophomore. You know, they like their young talent, and they really lean on that young talent. You know, the quarterback's the coach's kid, and he'll run the ball more than the running back will. So that tells you, you know, they think he's a tough kid, and running back tough. Offensive line, they always pull a lot, and they'll try to get your eyes going one way and bring you the other way with some counter looks. And they're a really tough football team. You know, I mean, in my 4 years here, I think we've played them pretty even. I think we might be 2-2. It's not like one of us tends to dominate the other, but they're a really good football team. I don't really care what their record is. We're going to take it day by day. And if we can go 6-0, that's great. And if we lose, we're going to learn from it. So that's the way we look at this game.
And then finally, Coach, coming into this, besides the win-loss situation, what do you feel like is still an unknown about your football team in your mind that you'd like to get some more data on tonight? And maybe there isn't one of these. Maybe you kind of feel good about your character and the composition of your team, but is there something still sticking out in the back of Jake Schauer's mind that he'd like to see come more clear after this one's over tonight?
You know, I think just every week you just kind of wonder who's going to be the guy this week, who's going to step up, you know, and this has been a really different team where we don't have you look at our state championship run 2 years ago, we knew it was going to be Simmers, Kuntz, Pay, Strandell. Those are the dudes, you know, and everyone could tell us the scouting report, here's the 5 numbers. Whereas I feel like this year's team is a little bit more of a mystery where it's kind of like I said earlier, everyone eats. You know, you look at our stats, there's 7 or 8 guys catching the ball pretty even. You know, there's 5 or 6 guys running the ball pretty even. Quarterbacks, who knows who's going to be the one to step up that night. And I think it's just a matter of who's going to be the consistent leader. You know, I talked a little bit about Brooklyn Bruce earlier. He's stepping up as a guy who's becoming more and more vocal, backs it up with his play, respects the other team, you know, finding – you know, more and more guys like that every week. That's how you make a playoff push, is getting those guys who are good vocal leaders, guys who do things the right way when they're not on the field. And we have those guys. I'm just waiting for more and more of them to step up every week so we can kind of have that mentality and keep building towards the end of the year.
Jake Schauer joining us, the head coach of the Grand Forks Central Knights, on our pregame report this evening. Our comments from our head coach brought to you tonight by Acme Equipment and Acme Tools, your Kubota dealers in Grand Forks. That'll take us to our final break in our pregame report. When we come back, it's time to take a look at our starting lineups and get ready to roll in this matchup here tonight because it promises to be a good one. The Grand Forks Central Knights hosting the Wahpeton Huskies this evening. Starting lineups and kickoff on the way coming up next. This is our coverage of high school football on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports, and KNOX Radio in Grand Forks. And tonight on KBMW in Wapeton, we're back with more in just a couple of moments.
It's game day, and whether you're feeding the family or the entire team, Hugo's is the place to go. Score big with favorites from the meat department, delicious fresh veggies, and don't forget about the bakery to celebrate the big win. Hugo's Family Marketplace, your game day headquarters.
Thief River Glass handles it all. Aluminum storefronts, auto glass, windows, shower enclosures, and more. Just like our athletes, we're built for every season. No job is too big or too small. Call 218-681-1333 for year-round dependable service.
When you're looking for a change of pace, a change of routine, or a change of scenery, we'll help you find what's next. Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. For you, for life.
Ready to launch your future? At Northland Community and Technical College, opportunity starts here. Train for high-demand technical and skilled trades or start with an affordable Associates of Arts degree and transfer with ease. Visit northlandcollege.edu.
the Kubota BX Series, rated #1 in durability and owner experience. Talk to your Kubota dealer to schedule a demo.
For expert sales and service, visit Acme Equipment or online at acmekubota.com.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school football tonight in the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports this evening from Cushman Field in Grand Forks. We thank those of you that are listening in tonight on KBMW in Wahpeton for your attendance here this evening over the radio waves tonight, and everybody joining us tonight on KNOX Live Sports. It's a pleasure to have you with us here tonight. Our national anthem is on the way, and we'll bring it to you here tonight, and then get ready for our starting lineups. Our keys for tonight's matchup are brought to you by Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Stop in and see what's new for the season at Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. It's always hockey season. Hey, the early signups have already ended. We've got practices for the youth coming up at the end of the month. Jarrell Sports Center has every pad and precision skate sharpening that you need to get ready to go. For Grand Forks Central, you've got to defend those dual threat quarterbacks, a huge key tonight for the Knights, and covering those deep shots with 4 wide receivers. They're going to load up and come after you if you're the Knights defensively. For Wapeton, you'll have to match up against the run. That's how Central wants to get it done here tonight. And pressuring the quarterback when Noah Lease drops back to throw, you're going to have to affect him. Might not have to sack him, but you'll have to affect him. Those are the keys to the game tonight, brought to you by Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Stop in and see what's new for the season at Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Ladies and gentlemen, here is our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streamed, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
We have a really nice crowd here tonight. That's a great rendition of our national anthem here this evening at Cushman Field in Grand Forks. It's homecoming, and we're about to get after it as Grand Forks Central will take on Wahpeton here tonight. We're pleased to have you with us here this evening on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports. Before kickoff, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the radio side of things here tonight. This is our coverage of high school football on KBMW and KNOX. Ryan Cunningham with you here this evening, and Jacob Lindemann has our videography work below. We're going to kick it off at 88 degrees in Grand Forks tonight. 88 rather steamy degrees coming up this evening as Grand Forks Central will get set to kick the ball away to the Wapeton Huskies. Let's take a look at our starting lineups. First of all, for the visitors, the Wapeton Huskies this evening. At center is Isaac Anderson. The guards are Hunter Bolke and Rylan Flack. The tackles, Luke Anderson and Elijah Robertson. The wide receiver core, Cooper Klumo, Caden Barth, Braden Steffens, and Isaiah Bruchert. The running back is Michael Peterson. Jack Gilbertson will be the starting quarterback this evening. Defensively for Wahpeton, the nose is Luke Anderson. The ends are Isaac Anderson and Bolke. The linebackers are Brushirt, Peterson, Flack, and Trayton King. The corners are Coolmo and Aiden Bonges. And the safeties are Barth and Steffens. And we'll get the Grand Forks Central starting lineup coming up for you in a couple of moments as Rylan Dobrovolny gets set to kick the football away for Grand Forks Central. The goal keep for the Grand Forks Central Knights soccer team. Unfortunately for the Central soccer team, that season in some trouble after their loss earlier this week, and a path to get into the state tournament probably out of the realm for Central, but a couple of wins this year, 4 draws. They definitely took a step in the right direction this year when it comes down to high school soccer in Grand Forks. And now, Rylan Dobrovolny has another team to play for coming over. He'll still finish the season, obviously, with the Central soccer team, but as a place kicker for this Grand Forks Central Knights football team, he's added a lot of range that Central can score from. Central's in their maroon, up and down, the helmets all the way down to the pants, and Wapeton is in white with purple and gold accents, and the purple numbers, purple helmets. Dobrovolny will kick from our right to left towards the north goal. The kickoff is away, and this will be taken on the far side of the field by Braden Steffens at the 3-yard line. Far side return along the numbers, hit at the 20 but stepped out of it, 30-35, and is down at around the 37-yard line. He'll be brought down in special teams on the far side of the field by Logan Voorhees. Let's take a look at the Grand Forks Central starting lineup for tonight. Offensively, the center's Ryder McNally. The guards are Sawyer Harlow and Eli Fisher. The tackles, Nolan Marshall and Brody Melliker. The tight end is Carter Bosser. The wide receiver, Zaid Martin and Brooklyn Bruce. The running backs are Eli Thompson and Anton Perales, and Noah Lease will start at quarterback. We'll get to the defense in a moment. Jack Gilbertson is out of the gun with 3 receivers. On first down and 10 for Wapeton at their own 37-yard line. He gives the ball away in the backfield. Michael Peterson trying to find a hole, picks his way maybe to the 38 for a gain of a yard. Grand Forks Central will get a tackle from Johnny Sherrick. The defensive unit for Central, the nose is Eli Fisher. The ends are Nolan Marshall, Brody Melliker. The linebackers are Eli Thompson, Naz Fisher, Zethan Feldman, and Johnny Sherrick. The corners are Zaid Martin and Trey Clausen, and the safeties are Tyson Vanyo and Brooklyn Bruce. It's second down and 9 for the Wapeton Huskies from their own 38. Gilbertson with Peterson to his right in the backfield, a pair of options, one each way. High snap, Peterson gets it, looks middle, first down, carry. He's ahead of midfield as he sprints down the middle of the field and is down to the 47-yard line. That'll be a gain of 11 yards on the play. Check that, 12 yards for Michael Peterson. And a first down for Grand Forks Central, for Wapeton on their second play of the game. A fast break offense for Wapeton. They start 4 wide receivers, but as you heard in the pregame report, Jake Schauer mentions they're patient and they like to run some counters with misdirection. Grand Forks Central going into an odd front for a moment. Now they'll drop a linebacker back on first and 10. This is a keeper for Gilbertson, hit in the backfield, stacked up, and he took a punishing shot at the end of that run. He'll lose a yard. Eli Thompson was first up. Nolan Marshall came in to finish him off, and Gilbertson will go down for a loss of a yard on his first carry. That got held up. Just some great defensive line play up front, commanding a couple of double teams that really gelled up the running lane, and it's second down and 11 for the Huskies at the Central 48-yard line. Opening possession of the game just 2 minutes in. Gilbertson waiting for a snap. Again out of the pistol. 2 receivers short stacked off the left side of the line. Another high snap. Peterson again up the middle, short gain. He'll be up to around the 45 or just short of it. Brought down by Marshall from behind. Had some help in front from Zethan Feldman. Gain of 3 yards on the play for Peterson, and here comes a big play for the Central defense. This is always a very tough matchup with this Wapeton Husky offense, and you're looking for that first stop that you can earn defensively. And Central has an opportunity to try to get their defense off the field on third down and 8 from Central's 45. Gilbertson out of the gun, 3 receivers, trips right. Gilbertson taking a look at the defense. Central showing some heat off the near edge, but they step back. Now they bring it far edge. Gilbertson hit. He'll go down. Quarterback sack back at the 49. Terrific deception by the Central defense. They showed a blitz on the left and then brought one on the right side instead, and Gilbertson was fooled, and it's a combined quarterback sack for Central from Logan Voorhees with some help on that play coming in from another reserve on the defensive line, Gage McNally, and it brings up fourth down and 12, and Wapeton will leave their offense on the field. from the Central 49-yard line on 4th down and 12. You can see the camera rattling down there as they get up for a 4th down play. Gilbertson rolling, throwing, passes picked off. It'll be taken away on the right side of the football field by Brooklyn Bruce, and Central will force a turnover on Wapeton's opening possession. Let's take a look at it again on the American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay. We talked about this in the pregame report. They have a tendency to throw the football away, a roll, a look downfield, and it's just jumped by Brooklyn Bruce. And you had heard that Brooklyn Bruce was looking to make something happen tonight. He comes up with a takeaway for Grand Forks Central, and the Knights have a 1st down and 10 at their own 33-yard line with 8:29 to play in the opening quarter. No score on the all-true scoreboard. And now the first opportunity for the Knights to touch the football tonight. Noah Lease out on the field, out of the pistol, but we're going to see a stoppage in play. And I wonder if they're going to take us to our media timeout. We did have a change of possession before the 7-minute mark. And Don Doyle, our referee tonight, talking things over with the crew. They're going to ask for a play clock reset. I think that was the spot most likely. We are experimenting with the media timeouts that we have here in Grand Forks this season, and I think in that was probably the place to have one, but in the end, interception, not exactly the clean place to have one, and so here we go, 1st down and 10 for Grand Forks Central from their own 33-yard line. Lease out of the pistol, and he'll motion a receiver to the near side. Turns and gives this one away. Naz Fisher, gaping hole, right side cutback. He's to midfield, broke a tackle to the 45-40 of Wahpeton, and he's down to the 36-yard line. Just like that, Naz Fisher gets moving. That'll be a 31-yard carry for Naz Fisher to get things started tonight. He's got 528 coming into the game. And that was on just 61 carries. He's a big carry kind of guy, and you can see why it is that he's a big carry kind of guy. He broke a couple of tackles along the way. Very tough to bring him down. 1st down and 10 for Central at Wapeton's 36-yard line in their opening possession of the football game. Noah Lease out of the pistol with Anthem Perales now in the backfield. Couple of receivers short, set left, play action throw near side. Pass caught, Eli Thompson outside the numbers 30. Cuts back 20, 15, stiff arms a man to the 5, and he's inside of the 5-yard line down to the 3. Going to be 1st down and goal coming up for Grand Forks Central. No flags on the field, so 1st and goal coming up for the Knights at the 3-yard line. That's a 28-yard catch and run for Eli Thompson. And it's 1st down and goal for Grand Forks Central from the Wapeton 3-yard line. And it's 1st down and goal for Grand Forks Central. The Knights moving as we approach the midway point to the quarter, looking for the first points of the game. Pair of receivers work to the left. Bruce is the outside man. I formation behind Lease, who's under center. Lease taking a look, waiting for the snap. Takes it, looks right side, gives Fisher, hit backfield, struggling forward. He pulled the pile with him down to the 1-yard line. He was hit in the backfield by Luke Anderson, who had a complete and total grip on him, and Fisher kept stepping through the hold and dragged Anderson with him down to the 1-yard line for a gain of 2. It'll be 2nd down and goal from the 1-yard line. Central looking for the first points of the football game, trying to take a lead in their homecoming matchup. Big runs by Naz Fisher and Eli Thompson after a catch to spring the drive. On 2nd down and goal, Fisher up the middle, hit at the goal line, no signal yet, ball came out. Now there's a race on for it on the field, and Central got back to it. It seemed like Fisher was down, but they hadn't ruled him down as of yet, and they'll say the fumble will lose 5 yards on the play. So a loss of 5 for Grand Forks Central will take it back to the 6, and it's 3rd down and goal from the 6-yard line. Well, that's a tough break for Grand Forks Central, obviously. It looked like he was down trying to attack up the field, and a fumble lost 5 yards. And that 3-man line of Luke Anderson, Isaac Anderson, and Hunter Bolke for Wapeton going to be a good one tonight. They've stacked up 2 good plays at the goal line already. 3rd down and goal from the 6. Central will go back to the pistol, and Anthem Perales will come back into the matchup. Lease rolling right side, looking to throw, throws end zone. Pass caught, Zaid Martin, touchdown. Grand Forks Central, Zaid Martin, our player spotlight tonight, comes up with a catch on the out route to the far sideline. It'll be a 6-yard touchdown throw, and Central will take a 6-0 lead. We'll take a look at it again on the American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay. Back to the pistol to spread things out, and Noah Lease finding Martin in between a couple of defensive players. Drops that one in nicely. That was a heck of a throw for Noah Lease between a couple of pretty tightly stacked defensive players. And Martin gets in officially from 6 yards out at the 5-minute 35-second mark of the opening quarter. Rylan Dobrovolny is on for the extra point. Good snap. The hold is down. Dobrovolny knocks it through, and it's 7-0 Grand Forks Central on top of Wapeton as we make our way to our media stoppage with our clock down to 5:35 to play opening quarter. All True scoreboard reads the night 7, the Huskies nothing. Timeout for Apex Apparel and Big Jim's Tire. This is our coverage of high school football on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports.
Open all year round to the public, Eagles Crest offers space for holiday parties and family get-togethers. And of course, daily specials, appetizers, and all your favorites, including Sunday brunch buffets. Come in for the view and delicious meals at Eagles Crest Grill.
Whether it's a golf course, your lawn, a pasture on your farm, cover crop, or even a food plot to help you get that big buck, Rivards Turf and Forage of Grand Forks has developed, mixed, and packaged the premium specialized seed you need for almost every application. Go to rivards.com.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school football on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports in Grand Forks, KNOX Radio in Wapeton on KBMW. Ryan Cunningham with you here tonight. Jacob Lindemann with our videography work down below. It's 7-0 Grand Forks Central. They score officially on a turnover. Interception that was thrown that was just as good as a punt. Rylan Dobrovolny's kick will go through the back of the end zone. And we'll see Grand Forks Central's defense come back onto the field as Wapeton takes over at the 20-yard line. Well, for those of you on the video side, we go back to our Keys the Game. And Keys the Game brought to you by Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Defend the dual-threat quarterback for Central. They held up to that early. We haven't yet seen Wapeton take a deep shot. And as far as matching up against the run, well, in the open field, it was pretty tough to bring down Naz Fisher for the Grand Forks Central defense, or I'm sorry, for the Wapeton defense, and we'll see what adjustments they make when they come back out onto the defensive side. In the meantime, Wapeton's football at the 20, 1st and 10. They trail by a score of 7-0. Gilbertson takes another high snap, looking for Peterson, a little cut back left, hit a couple of times, but stumbles through it and rumbles his way out to the 25 for a gain of about 5 yards. Brought down far side of the field by a new defensive player for Grand Forks Central. That'll be Carson Cutterba, who comes in on the defensive side of things. Linebacker Zethan Feldman getting part of the stop as well. And Peterson out to a 21-yard night. 72 carries for Michael Peterson coming into the night. 331 yards. He's been the workhorse out of the backfield. That one officially a 6-yard pickup. And it's 2nd down and 4. Gilbertson, another high snap, throwing right side quickly. Sliding attempt is made, but catch no good. Cooper Kulmo has that one trapped underneath his body for no gain. And here comes a 3rd down and 4. And now we have a whistle and a timeout as that perhaps the clock rolled a little bit after the incompletion. So they'll step in to stop it. Here comes 3rd down and 4 for Grand Forks Central from their own 26-yard line. Grand Forks Central in their homecoming game, looking to get their defense back off the field again tonight with 4:49 left of the opening quarter. Gilbertson waiting with an option each side. He's going to call his own number, zone read look, hit, and Naz Fisher stuck him as he got 2 yards up the field. Crosses the 28, and then Fisher hit him hard as he got short of the 29. They'll spot the football just shy of the 29-yard line. Going to be 4th and 1 in their own end, and we'll see what Wapeton elects to do. Gilbertson will pick up 2 yards on the carry officially. And now Jack Gilbertson, the sophomore, coach's son, is going to go back and punt the football for Grand Forks, or I should say rather for Wapeton. It's a high snap, rolled him out of the way. He rolls away to kick the football and then gets it away, end over end to the far side of the field. Pro Wapeton hop at the central 45, ticks down inside the 35 and rolls dead just inside the 32-yard line, and Grand Forks Central will take over 1st down and 10 at their own 32, leading by a score of 7-0. Timeouts tonight brought to you by Big Jim's Tire, your #1 supplier of egg tires in the region. And brought to you by Apex Apparel, your hometown quick turnaround, family-owned and operated promotional shop. Also want to thank PS Garage Doors for bringing you our coverage this evening. PS Garage Doors, they can service any make and model of garage door. Call 772-DOOR. That's 772-DOOR for PS Garage Doors in Devils Lake and Grand Forks. PS stands for perfect service at PS Garage Doors. Well, we'll see a change at quarterback. Brody Ledegy, the sophomore, will come in and take over the quarterback position for Grand Forks Central. He'll work out of the pistol. Anton Perales is the back. And Zaid Martin, who had the touchdown catch a couple of moments ago, comes in motion. They find Perales on the right side. Looking to shed a tackler. Does. Got outside the numbers, the 40, and dives ahead to the 41-yard line for a gain of 9 yards. Cooper Kulmo comes up with a stop for Wahpeton from a defensive back spot, but that's good for 9. It'll bring up 2nd down and 1 on the play. Anton Perales, opportunity to carry the football. He's got 12 yards on the night so far tonight. And the Knights, they'll say they'll give him a first down. So give Anton Perales 13 yards for the night, and that'll be a first down carry as the Knights will bring it out to the 42-yard line. Clock down to 3:25 to play. Rapidly expiring first quarter here tonight. Knights leading by a score of 7-0. Single receivers each way. Correction. Let's make that 4, but 3. Trip triangle bunch right off the line. Deceptive on the left-hand side of the line for Central. Out of the pistol, Ledegy will give to Perales. Working right side. Dodged one initial attack up the field. Was able to come off right tackle and crosses the 45 to around the 46, a gain of 4. Tackle coming in from the defensive secondary that time from Trayton King. King coming into the night, 21.5 tackles. Their most active linebacker for Wapeton tonight, Michael Peterson, who we've seen carrying the football quite a bit as a running back. 37.5 tackles on the season for Michael Peterson. And they've got a fairly physical back 8. They've got 2 safeties, 26.5 tackles. All of the linebackers are very active. They just haven't quite had the success on the defensive line this year, has Wapeton, that they would like to. 2nd down and 6 after the 4-yard gain for Perales. Ledegy has good time, wants to throw deep, looking near side. He's got one through the hands of Brooklyn Bruce up at around the 20-yard line, incomplete. Ledegy stretched the field well, had Brooklyn Bruce running down the near side of the field, and Bruce had gained a step on Aiden Bonges, but the ball ends up going through his hands. Couldn't quite reel it in. And that'll bring up 3rd down and 6 for Central, and Brooklyn's going to kick himself all the way back to the Grand Forks Central huddle on that one. So here comes 3rd down and 6 for the Knights. The clock will halt with 2:23 to play in the opening quarter. And we'll see what they do with a sophomore quarterback and the former Brody Ledegy in the game. He threw a really nice ball for Brooklyn Bruce on that play. Put it right where it needed to be. That's an encouraging throw for a young quarterback to make. 3 receivers for the Huskies, rather for the Knights. And they'll motion Zaid Martin from left to right. Going to throw screen pass. Right side, Bruce dropped that one too. Bruce says he can't see it. He was looking into the sun. And that sun, of course, setting in the western sky, and they were trying to throw that screen pass to that edge. So here comes 4th down and a couple of incompletions by Central, and now the Knights will have to get rid of it. First punt tonight for Central. Comes with 2 minutes and 19 seconds left to go here in the opening quarter. Back to receive the punt for Wapeton will be Braden Steffens, a dangerous player on the offensive side of the ball and with his hands on the football. Very high snap. It's reeled in and kicked away by Blake Solberg towards the far sideline. Takes a pro Central roll. Really nice roll from the 20 inside the 15, the 10, the 5, ticking all the way down to the 1-yard line. Wow. That's a heck of an effort for Grand Forks' Blake Solberg. Central Solberg having to roll away from some pressure and get rid of it, and then got a familiar roll on that football to go all the way down to Wapeton's 1-yard line. And the Huskies left to start from a very deep spot on the field with a clock down to 1:59 to play in the first. It is a 7-0 score on the All-True scoreboard. Scoreboard updates tonight brought to you by All-True. Regular screenings with All-True's care team can detect illness before symptoms begin. Stay in the game of wellness. Schedule an appointment. Visit alltrue.org or call 780-5000. Gilbertson back out to take one out of the shotgun for Wapeton. He'll receive the snap about 5 yards deep in his own end zone on 1st down and 10. Gives it away up the middle of the football field. Michael Peterson just banging away behind a lead block. Bowls his way across the 5 and is out to around the 8-yard line. for a gain of close to 7 yards. Good lead block by Isaiah Bruchard, wide receiver, just kind of powering his way up there. And 7-yard pickup on the play from Michael Peterson. Tackle will go to Zaid Martin on the play, and Michael Peterson's been productive tonight. 29 yards on the ground so far for Wahpeton from Michael Peterson. It's 2nd down and 3 for the Huskies. Gilbertson waiting out of the shotgun. 3 receivers. He'll have a pair of options to his left side. Central again bringing up linebackers on the edge of the line. They're going to blitz off the right edge. Peterson runs left against it. He's stacked up as he gets to the 9. Maybe a half a yard, maybe a yard. Naz Fisher leading an effort to get the stop. Has some help from Carson Cutterba as well. Gain of 1 for Michael Peterson, and here comes 3rd down and 2 for Wapeton from their own 9-yard line. They don't convert. They're having to punt deep, so this is a big play early for the Wapeton Huskies. Gilbertson waiting with a man to his right, Michael Peterson in the backfield. Lone receiver goes left. A pair again just off the line on the right-hand side. Gilbertson on a play-action boot. Throws off his back foot. Picked off again. Brooklyn Bruce on the takeaway. Bruce to the 5, making his way towards the end zone. And he's in for a pick-6 touchdown. Brooklyn Bruce will step up and take it away for a pick-6 touchdown. It's an 18 seconds left to go dagger for Grand Forks Central here in the opening quarter, as the Knights will take a 13-0 advantage. And now Central looking for the conversion opportunity. We'll take a look at that again coming up here in a couple of moments, but Brooklyn Bruce with the big interception return for touchdown. And Rylan Dobrovolny will come on for the extra point opportunity for Grand Forks Central. Made the first one, high snap here, gets it away, and that kick is good for Rylan Dobrovolny to make it 14-0. American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay. Again, you'll see another pick for Brooklyn Bruce, and he's just reading Jack Gilbertson. Gilbertson rolling, throwing as he backed away, took something off it. Brooklyn Bruce there, comes up with a takeaway and just kept shredding tacklers to get into the end zone. And that is your American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay. And a nice pick-6 for Brooklyn Bruce to make it a 14-0 lead. We'll go ahead and take a look at that again just to see the length. Want to see how far that return went. Brooklyn Bruce made the last few yards kind of take place on his own there. That's going to be a 19-yard return for Brooklyn Bruce to get into the end zone. So Bruce from 19 yards away makes it 14-0 in favor of Grand Forks Central. And the Knights already on the board twice, now with an opportunity to kick it away, and they get the football back. They get another stop and get it back. They got an opportunity to really take solid control of the football game in the early part of the second quarter here. Maybe just a little bit of a mistake that time for Jack Gilbertson. Young quarterback, he's rolling away. If you're going to make that throw, you're going to have to step into it. See a lot of young quarterbacks that take that little half step back and throw off their back foot, and that finesse more often than not, especially in the naked boot, is going to put you in a situation where a lot of defenders have read the play and they're able to sort of gather where you're throwing the football. Rylan Dobrovolny will kick it away for the Knights. Line drive kick into the end zone again. So another touchback, and the Wapeton Huskies will come out with 14 seconds left to go in the opening quarter. And the Huskies down by a 14 spot, looking to try to battle their way back into the matchup. Central homecoming good. Student section here tonight, 88 degrees. As we kick this one off this evening, a good crowd of Central fans as well here tonight, which is good to see. They're having a reunion tonight of the 2005 state championship Grand Forks Central Knights football team. Oh, they're doing that next week. Okay, my apologies. I was told today from a very good source that was going to happen this week, but apparently that's happening next week for the 2005 reunion. Well, that'll be good to run them back here anyway. That's 2 straight weeks of good stuff for Grand Forks Central football. They'll give to Peterson, Will Wapeton on first down, and Peterson hauled down from behind on the play. He'll lose a yard back to the 19-yard line. Central gets a tackle from Zethan Feldman coming through. A little bit of help coming in from Carson Cutterba as well, and that's going to end the opening quarter of football that we have for you tonight here at Cushman Field. And Grand Forks Central is on a roll in their homecoming game early. 14-0 Knights on the all-true scoreboard as we make our way to the second quarter tonight. We'll do so after a timeout for Apex Apparel, your hometown quick turnaround, family-owned promotional shop in Grand Forks, and brought to you by Big Jim's Tire, your #1 supplier of ag tires in the region. This is high school football on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports in Grand Forks, KNOX Radio, and in Wapeton on KBMW.
Open all year round to the public, Eagles Crest offers space for holiday parties and family get-togethers. And of course, daily specials, appetizers, and all your favorites, including Sunday brunch buffets. Come in for the view and delicious meals at Eagles Crest Grill.
Grand Trailer Sales in East Grand Forks is your go-to spot for enclosed utility, flatbed, and dump trailers in the Red River Valley. They have the biggest selection on hand of trailers with great pricing. If you're looking for parts, service, or simply to buy, GrandTrailersales.com.
Rivals on the ice, united in the stands, and everyone's geared up from Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Hockey gear, fan apparel, Nodak pride, we've got it all and more. Locally owned, 1004 South Washington Street. Shop local, shop Jarrell's.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school football on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports tonight from Grand Forks and Cushman Field, where it's been a happy homecoming so far for Grand Forks Central. 2 turnovers by Wahpeton, both interceptions. And Grand Forks Central taking advantage with a touchdown drive and a pick 6 by Brooklyn Bruce to make it 14-0 in favor of Grand Forks Central. Jack Gilbertson with the football on 2nd down and 11 for the Wahpeton Huskies. He'll take the snap, calls his own number, zone read look, breaking outside. He's got an angle to work with, got a block. Outside the numbers, 30, 35, 40. Down the far sideline, midfield, the 40. Sips out of a diving tackle, but is able to touch up on the sideline at the central 35-yard line. And Jack Gilbertson getting out in the open field and showing you what he can do when he's got his speed at his favor. That'll be 46 yards for Jack Gilbertson on the carry. And 1st down and 10 for Wapeton at the 35 of Grand Forks Central. A couple of gougers like that can definitely turn around the complexion of a game, and that is the big play that Wapeton was looking for to try to get back into contention here. 3 receivers, trips again, right side of the field, and Gilbertson out of a short stack pistol. He's got Michael Peterson behind him. Central still odd up front, bringing 2 linebackers up on the outside. We're going to have a false start penalty coming up against Wahpeton. So Wahpeton will lose 5 on the false start penalty. And that'll bring up 1st down and 15. Tonight, Grand Forks Red River down at Central Cass. East Grand Forks is on the road at Thief River Falls. And we've got a matchup on another one of our web streams from KNOX Live Sports, video only tonight, between the Grafton Spoilers and the Harvey Wells County Hornets going on in Grafton tonight. Gilbertson out of the shotgun. On 1st down and 15, he'll take a look to the far sideline. Michael Peterson waiting with Gilbertson in the backfield. It's a counter play. Gilbertson calling his own number, has room to work with as he gets the linebacker course, 2nd level, across the 35 to 30 and down to the 26-yard line. He'll get 14 yards out of the play before he's brought down. There's the counter again that you heard in the pregame report from the head coach of the Grand Forks Central Knights, Jake Schauer, they were worried about from Wapeton. They pulled the right guard, brought him out on a counter, then you freeze the linebackers by going play action with Peterson on the zone read. And that little bit of a fake along with the counter gives you a blocker and some time. That's all that Jack Gilbertson needed. 2nd down and 1, his own number again on the zone read. Attacks middle of the defense. He's got a 1st down and more inside the 15 and is down to the 14-yard line. A pickup of 12 yards for Jack Gilbertson. Impressive response drive for Wapeton coming back, and it's Jack Gilbertson the whole way. The gouger for 46. He's now got 73 yards on the night. And Wapeton has marched their way into the red zone, looking to answer a 2-score lead from Central. It's 1st and 10 Huskies at the Central 14-yard line. Pair of receivers coming left. Interior Cooper Coolmo and Caden Barth is on the edge on that side. Braden Steffens is on the edge on the right. Gilbertson throwing to Steffens, incomplete. Pressure immediately coming off that left edge from Carson Cutterba, who's been a blitzing linebacker all throughout the night for Grand Forks Central. That'll bring up 2nd down and 10. Next week, volleyball, the crosstown matchup between Grand Forks Central and Grand Forks Red River. That'll be on Thursday night coming up next week. And been a tough season for volleyball in Grand Forks this year. Both teams trying to hold on to position there, seeing they can host that play-in game at the end of the season. 2nd down and 10 after the incompletion. They'll motion Isaiah Bruchert back behind the line of scrimmage. Another high snap. Gilbertson had trouble in the backfield and goes down for a loss on the play. Zethan Feldman was coming after him almost immediately. Nolan Marshall comes up to finish him off, but that high snap again disrupting that relationship between center and quarterback. And we'll see a loss of 6 yards on the play for Gilbertson. So it's 3rd down and 16. It's pretty obvious 4-down territory right now for Wahpeton. They're back at the central 20-yard line. Need a touchdown, need a score. So likely 4-down territory this deep in. Gilbertson out of the shotgun with 3 receivers. A pair of options to his right. He'll call his own number again, rolling near side. Run pass option, the RPO. Going to keep it himself, sidesteps a tackler. Then Naz Fisher brings him down with one arm, reaching back to wrap up Gilbertson at the 19-yard line. It looks like Gilbertson's running free on that play, but he gains about 2, and it's going to be 4th down and call it 13. And the ball at the central 18-yard line. So a lot of running there for Gilbertson. Calling that own number, wanted to throw downfield. Central had pretty good coverage, stacking up the receivers. And so here's 4th down and 13, another big play for Wapeton. Central a chance to try to take some momentum away from the Huskies. Gilbertson waiting out of the gun, 4 receivers, trip strung left. Gilbertson looking to his right, going to throw Coffin corner, looking for Steffens, and the ball defended away. Great coverage by Brooklyn Bruce in the back corner of the end zone to knock that away from Braden Steffens. Boy, you don't do it very well if you're not doing it like that. Brooklyn Bruce has been in on 3 plays. Now Bruce is coming off, looks like he tweaked a leg in that situation. He's coming off with a bit of a limp, and that would be a tough break for Grand Forks Central. Bruce, a year ago, leg injury that they told him he would never run again. And then it turned out to be him coming back to play basketball and have a near all-conference season for Grand Forks Central in basketball when they told him he would never run again. Comes off the field there, though. He tweaked up an ankle on that play. He's got 2 interceptions, a pick 6, and now a breakup in the end zone defensively tonight. 1st and 10 Central after the change of possession. The ball is at the 17-yard line. Naz Fisher running right side. Big hole outside the numbers. Cuts back over the middle. Down the sideline, 50. He's to the 40, and no one's going to catch him. Naz Fisher will jog it into the end zone for a Central Knights touchdown. It'll be 81 yards for Naz Fisher, and it will come at the 8:44 mark of the half to make it a 20-0 lead for Grand Forks Central. 81 yards for Naz Fisher. We'll take a look at it again in the American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay. And when you see the cut from Naz Fisher, well, it's pretty much over at that point. He makes that cut back over the middle and then turns on the speed, and there just wasn't anybody there to catch him. And Grand Forks Central goes in for a touchdown to make it 20-0. Big play capability out of the backfield, and Fisher now out with a touchdown, and we'll have 114 yards on the night, including gouging that one for 81. Rylan Dobrovolny is on to attempt the extra point. Kick is on its way after a good snap, and Dobrovolny's 3 for 3. And we have a media stoppage here tonight at Cushman Field. 21-0, Grand Forks Central with the lead. Timeout for Apex Apparel, your hometown quick turnaround, family-owned promotional shop. And brought to you tonight by Big Jim's Tire, your #1 supplier of egg tires in the region. This is high school football on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Radio, Grand Forks, and KBMW in Wapeton.
Open all year round to the public, Eagles Crest offers space for holiday parties and family get-togethers. And of course, daily specials, appetizers, and all your favorites, including Sunday brunch buffets. Come in for the view and delicious meals at Eagles Crest Grill.
When the lights go out, count on the pros. Bergstrom Electric in Grand Forks, the area's largest full-service electrical contractor. From commercial builds to homes, they're trusted for quality, safety, and award-winning work. Call today, 701-775-8897.
Ready to launch your future? At Northland Community and Technical College, opportunity starts here. Train for high-demand technical and skilled trades, or start with an affordable Associates of Arts degree and transfer with ease. Visit northlandcollege.edu.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school football on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports, KNOX Radio in Grand Forks, KBMW in Wahpeton. Central, pick 6 touchdown and an 81-yard touchdown run for Naz Fisher. And they've taken control of the game with a 21-0 lead over Wahpeton. And we'll see Rylan Dobrovolny kicking the football away for Grand Forks Central, as the Huskies will now have to answer and answer quickly. And they had a good drive going until just a couple of moments ago. Kickoff return coming for Caden Barth for Wahpeton. He sets up middle return, found a hole. He's to the second level, breaks outside the near side numbers. Dobrovolny can't catch him. And there to the end zone for a kickoff return for a touchdown is number 5, Caden Barth. And Wapeton's back in the football game. 8 minutes, 28 seconds. 96-yard kickoff return for Barth. And Central will give up the first points to Wapeton tonight and have their lead cut back to 15 at 21-6. And Jack Gilbertson will come on to attempt the point after for Grand Forks, rather for Wapeton. So Gilbertson, the quarterback, now the kicker as well. Good snap to him. And the kick is blocked by Grand Forks Central. And it will be caught and downed. And so we'll see a kickoff coming up for the Grand Forks Central Knights. So now 21-6 on the all-true scoreboard, with Grand Forks Central having their lead cut to 15. So they'll have an opportunity to break that one down and take a look at what happened on special teams in that situation. Normally, Rylan Dobrovolny going to give you an opportunity to poke that into the end zone and not make it returnable. But for that, when you see what Wapeton can do with their specialty athletes, and this is why you heard in the pregame report Jake Schauer telling us that he just does not relish the idea of playing Wapeton because of the way that they go about moving their athletes around and doing some really, really good things. And that's what went on in that sequence. You put another dangerous athlete back there to return a kickoff, and you give him a little bit of space to work with, and he's gone for a touchdown. So Wapeton will kick it away with Grand Forks Central's lead down to 2 scores. Give you a look at what we have tonight as far as our vegan construction look-in. Designers, builders, engineers, quality work for nearly a century in the area. Starts off with a touchdown catch for Zaid Martin, and then a pick 6 with 18 seconds left to go in the opening quarter for Brooklyn Bruce from 19 yards tonight. 2 turnovers that have been thrown by Wapeton, and then the 81-yard touchdown run for Naz Fisher. But Wapeton comes back, and now a little pooch kick here, and the ball's on the ground covered up by Central. Wapeton comes back with a 96-yard kickoff return for Caden Barth after the 81-yard touchdown run by Naz Fisher, and Wapeton answers just officially 16 seconds after Naz Fisher's 81-yard touchdown run, and it's 21-6. And that is our Vegan Construction Game Look-In tonight, brought to you by Vegan Construction, designers, builders, engineers. In the northern Red River Valley, quality work for nearly a century. Pair of receivers to the right for Wapeton, rather for Central, as they get the football back. Lease out of the pistol. Anton Perales is the back on 1st down and 10. Lease will take it, gives the football away. Perales trying to get outside, sidestep the tackler, but is down right at the line of scrimmage, and it's Michael Peterson, the linebacker that is so very active for Wapeton this season, that comes up with a stop. Maybe a gain of 1 for Anton Perales on the play. And that'll bring us to 2nd down and 9. With the way that they rotate the running backs for this Central team, you'll see Fisher, you'll see Perales. We'll wait to see who comes in next. Really, those are the 2 that we've seen so far tonight. But Johnny Sherrick and Carson Cutterba would be the next out of the pen, so to speak, to use a baseball euphemism. 2nd down and 9 for Central. Pair of receivers to the left. Eli Thompson, the tight end, is in motion, overloading the right side of the line. They'll throw a screen pass to Zaid Martin. Martin trying to shake a tackle, spun out of it, now spun out of another, and then is down just shy of a 1st down at the 44-yard line, and Martin comes up lame. made an aggressive spin move on the far side of the field, but now he's coming off the field gingerly favoring his right leg. And the Knights are going to get a little bit deeper into their wide receiver core here. 7-yard pickup on the play for Zaid Martin. He had the 6-yard touchdown catch earlier. But now we've seen Brooklyn Bruce go out with injury, and we've seen Zaid Martin go out with injury. And Central will send in Trey Clausen, very dependable man of his own right as a wide receiver, on 3rd down and 2. Naz Fisher comes back into the game as the back. And the snap, giveaway up the middle of the football field. Fisher stacked up, driving forward. I think forward progress going to get him there, although the ball ends up out again. And this is not Lease, by the way. My apologies. Brody Ledegy does come in for another series here for Grand Forks Central. Lease will pick up 3 yards. I'm sorry. We'll see 3 yards for Naz Fisher. And it's 1st down and 10 for Central at the 46-yard line. Their own. Clock down to 7 minutes to go here in the opening half of play. Central leading by a score of 21-6, but it's Wahpeton that struck most recently as the Huskies go in on a 96-yard kickoff return for touchdown, answering an 81-yard touchdown run by Naz Fisher. Fisher remains in the matchup as the back. Ledegy will take a snap out of the pistol. Eli Thompson motioning from right to left. It's a blitz from Wahpeton. Naked boot by Ledegy, throwing right side of the field. Pass caught. Trey Clausen looking for a block, slips back over the numbers to 35-30, and he's out of bounds and around the Wapeton 25-yard line. There is a flag down, however, back at the line of scrimmage. And there's no movement to spot the football downfield as of yet. Don Doyle is our referee, and he will give us an indication as to what the flag is going to be about, but all indications are that play for Trey Clausen is going to be wiped out. See if we had a holding penalty on the backside here. Nope, ineligible man downfield against the Knights. Long strung out bootleg play, and if someone didn't quite get the message on the call, you might slip downfield, and so a 5-yard mark-off on a penalty for an eligible man downfield. So 1st down and 15 coming up here. And Caleb Carlson, another wide receiver, will step into the game. Brooklyn Bruce is trying to get loose on the Central sideline here. Looking around to see Zaid Martin. He's back on the sideline, not getting any work right now at all. So would be likely that those players would return. And now Clausen's out there with too many men on the field. Central's going to go back some more. Flags come out. Jake Schauer, the head coach of the Knights, is way out on the field by nearly the hash marks trying to greet his team coming back. Did he call for a timeout? Well, there's the illegal participation penalty that's going to be called against Central. Another 5-yard penalty, another 1st down coming up, and Central's going to use a timeout. So the Knights are going to call for timeout. With the injuries that they have, their personnel groupings are off in this situation, and that seems to be what they're struggling with right now. So timeout going to be taken by Grand Forks Central, and it's a timeout for Apex Apparel, your hometown quick turnaround, family-owned and operated promotional shop in Grand Forks. And it's brought to you by Big Jim's Tire, your #1 supplier of ag tires in the region. Coming up at halftime, we will have a look at our first half highlights for you, so stay with us for those. As we make our way into halftime, brought to you by Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel, and brought to you by High Plains Water, your source for awesome water in Grand Forks. So stick around for our first half highlights coming up in our halftime report here tonight. We'll get to those right away in our halftime report. You'll have an opportunity to take a look back over the game. 1st down and 20 now for Grand Forks Central. Ball back to their own 36-yard line. Brody Ledegy out of the pistol again. Naz Fisher comes back in as the running back. 3 receivers in the game. Twins off to the right-hand side. This is play action. Clausen on the reverse looking for a block. Comes out near side, got one 40-45, and is rumbled out of bounds in front of the Grand Forks Central bench at around the 48-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 11 yards. And we will see Brooklyn Bruce come back into the game. Isaiah Bruchert runs down Trey Clausen on the reverse. Little play action up the middle. Ledegy keeps the ball almost Statue of Liberty look and then makes the pitch back to Clausen on the reverse the other direction. And it will officially be a 12-yard pickup on the play for Trey Clausen. Clausen with 4 catches for 100 yards this season. And this time has a rush for 12 for Central tonight. Second down and 8. Central leading by a score of 21-6 on the All-True scoreboard. Halfway through quarter number 2. 3 receivers. Twins off to the right. And a shotgun snap to Brody Ledecky, and the ball's on the ground. Ledecky has to go back and get it. He does. Anton Perales attempting to take the ball from Ledecky, but another negative play for Grand Forks Central. That'll be a loss of 5. Fourth negative play tonight for Grand Forks Central. They've had 2 fumbles, couple of penalties, and third down and 13 coming up for Central now. Back at the 42 after the hot start. The 96-yard kickoff return for Caden Barth of Wahpeton that scored has put Central in a spot where they've lost a little momentum here. Play clock isn't running here at this point. That got reset, so right now our referees watching that in and communicating with the officials as to where on the clock 40 seconds is going to be. So here comes third down, 13. Pair of receivers to the right. Ledecky waiting with Naz Fisher in the backfield, creating the pistol. Wapeton shows a blitz in the linebacker core. They bring it. It's caught. Throw right side. Bruce through the hands again and incomplete. Bruce was going to take a licking from Braden Steffens, the free safety that was back. And Brooklyn had a hard time getting his arms out. So another stoppage. Clock down to 5:20 to play. And we'll see Grand Forks Central having to punt the football. And now Wapeton, for all the issues that they had earlier tonight, they've got an opportunity to get themselves back in the football game. So the Huskies get the ball back, go down and score, and you're looking at a 1-score game again. Punt is away, high, not particularly deep, angled near sideline, and on top of everything else, Wapeton's going to get some pretty good field position. But there is a flag down back where the ball was being kicked. And we'll see if we're going to have a personal foul penalty here as Blake Solberg, the punter, may have taken a hit on the end of this play from Luke Anderson. We'll see if it's running into or roughing. Right now, Jake Schauer looking back, I believe it is defensive coordinator, to see what he wants to do. That would indicate running into. So the Knights take the yardage and kick again, or do you settle with what you've got at this point? We'll see what the call is going to be here from our official, our referee, Don Doyle, and it is running into the kicker against Wapeton. So 5 yards, but Central feels good enough about getting the snap away that they want to go ahead and kick it a second time. So the Knights up to the 41-yard line, looking now at fourth down. No, they haven't marked the penalty off yet. This will go to the 47. So it'll be 4th down and 9. And Central will kick the football away. Braden Steffens still waiting back for Wapeton, now inside his own 25, as Blake Solberg, the junior punter, will have another opportunity for Central. Another floating snap to him. Gets the ball away, and this one isn't as deep as the last one, and sent out of bounds at around the 45-yard line. And Central has had some issues here. A couple of special team snaps that didn't get executed particularly well. Some balls that Brooklyn Bruce should have caught tonight that he hasn't been able to haul in. Some fumbles, couple of penalties, and the Knights have done a lot to allow Wapeton to have a chance to get back in the football game. Had them down 21-0. It's now 21-6, and Wapeton gets their hands on the football with 5:14 left in the opening half of play. So it's 1st down and 10. Wapeton, their own 45. Gilbertson waiting out of the gun. 4 receivers, twins to each side of the field. His own number on the zone read, hit and wrapped up by Johnny Sherrick in the backfield. Sherrick will say none of that. Jack Gilbertson brought down back behind the line of scrimmage, and it will be a loss of 2 yards on the play for Gilbertson. 2nd down and 12 coming up for Wapeton. Again, stick around at halftime. We'll take a look at our first half highlights that we have for you here tonight. Halftime report will be brought to you by Grand Forks Welding and Machine and High Plains Water. 2nd down and 12. 4 receivers again. Again, twin options each way. Flag is out. Gilbertson stepping up in the pocket, going to run. Rolling near side of the field and along the sideline, wrestled out of bounds at around the 47 of Wapeton. That would be a gain of 3, maybe 4. Flag came out. We'll see if this is going to be against O or D. And right now, Wahpeton believes it's going against Central. They may have lined up off sides. The play's worth 4. The penalty's probably worth 5. But now they're talking with the Central sideline. I think Wahpeton felt like this penalty was going to be against Central. No, it's going to be a procedure penalty against Wahpeton. It'll be declined by Central. So Central will take the down rather than the distance. So this will be 3rd down and 8. So 3rd and 8 coming up now for Wapeton after the 4-yard pickup on the play for Jack Gilbertson. 3rd down and 8. Wapeton out of the pistol with Gilbertson in the backfield waiting for the snap. Michael Peterson next to him, play action. Central blitzing Gilbertson, tries to get away, throws downfield, pass caught, 1st down, and then some. Wrestling his way down to the 30-yard line is Isaiah Bruchard, who makes the catch, and it's 1st and 10 for the Huskies as they convert with a host of traffic bearing down on Gilbertson. 23-yard pickup for Isaiah Bruchard on the catch, and Wapeton's back in business at the Central 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 for the Huskies at the Central 30. A big blitz brought. They pressured the quarterback, but Gilbertson, Headsy, sophomore, moved away from the pressure, was able to spy a receiver downfield, dropped one in nicely. 1st and 10 Huskies from the Central 30. Shotgun snap, Gilbertson in the backfield. No, it is not. This is a new quarterback now, Trayton King. Gilbertson was shaken up on that last play. He got up and went off the field. Thought he was going to be okay, but Trayton King ends up taking the snap and loses a yard on the play, calling his own number. It'll be 2nd down 11. Gilbertson over on the sideline being tended to right now by the training staff. So Trayton King comes into the game to play the quarterback's role, listed as a tight end, 190-pound sophomore. But we know that he's taken plenty of snaps so far this season and can still throw the ball pretty well. 2nd down 11 for King and the Huskies now at the Central 31-yard line. 21-6 Central on the all-true scoreboard. Another floating snap. Peterson backfield hit down, maybe at the line of scrimmage, maybe a half yard ahead. Disrupted by Zethan Feldman. Johnny Sherritt comes in with a finishing blow. No gain on the play, and it's 3rd down 11 coming up for the Huskies. So 3rd and 11 coming up for Wapeton, with the ball at the 31-yard line of Central, and very likely 4-down territory again for the Huskies. Time growing short opening half. Not quite a full moon that we've got off in the southeast sky tonight. They call it the waxing gibbous, that moon getting a little bit bigger, almost full, but that harvest moon probably going to be out next week, I would think. 4 receivers, 3 right. King dropping back, hit as he throws the football, pass is taken away. Another takeaway by Grand Forks Central. Interception by Tyson Vanyo, who goes up, bats one down, and pulls it in. The 3rd interception thrown by Wapeton quarterbacks tonight, and Central will stop the drive and get the football at their own 22-yard line. Heck of a play that comes up for Central, and they've turned over Wapeton 3 times already this evening. And each time, those interceptions have been about the same look. Central dropping linebackers back into the hooks area in a zone coverage. Clock rolling here, and they're trying to get it stopped. And now Don Doyle is going to come over and very likely put some time back on the clock here. They'll have to eyeball it in. This will give us an opportunity to pause 10 seconds for station identification, so let's do that. Or will we? Now we're going to hold on. They got it reset rather quickly. 2 minutes, 12 seconds up there. Hold on for the station break. We'll have that coming up for you in a second. So 1st down and 10 for Grand Forks Central, officially their own 22. 21-6, the Knights by 15. Since then, it's been a bit of a battle of attrition between these two teams. Back in is Brooklyn Bruce, wide receiver right side with Feldman. A drop back by Noah Lease. He'll throw screen pass to Fisher. And a flag is down as Fisher tries to get outside. Oh, Fisher brought down from behind on a horse collar tackle. Michael Peterson brought him down, but you could see that that was a horse collar. There's a flag down the backfield as well. Central probably going to be hit for a block in the back here. But the horse collar is a personal foul penalty. So we're likely going 10 back, 15 forward, I would think. It's a holding penalty and the personal foul, horse collar tackle. No, they'll say those penalties offset. So it'll be a replay of first down for Grand Forks Central from the 22. Central leading by 15 with 2:05 left to go in the opening half. After a quick start to the game, it's taken a little bit of time to get us to the halftime break at this point. But we are on the way. We can tell you that much. It's just been one of those long, drawn-out affairs that we've had here as the game is kind of bogged down a bit tempo-wise. On first down and 10, Noah Lease out of the shotgun. Motion Zaid Martin from left to right takes the snap. Flag is out again. Rolling right side is Lease, throwing in the flat. Martin's got it. Hops out of bounds, 32. But we'll see if this is going to be a procedure penalty, and it will be. Well, we know this. We see this a lot in the Grand Forks area. When the flags start coming out, they start to see everything. And it went from really being a penalty-less first quarter to now all of a sudden it's hard to play without a penalty out there. That'll be an illegal shifting call against Grand Forks Central. So this ball is going to go back to the 12. Or will it be, no, 5-yard penalty on the illegal shift. My apologies, go back to the 17. Third penalty against the Knights tonight that will be enforced. And first and 15 for Central with the clock down to an even 2 minutes to play. First half. And Ledecky may have come back into the game now for Central at the quarterback's position. 3 receivers. Anton Perales is in the backfield. Zaid Martin motioning across the formation from left to right. No, this is Noah Lease that stays in. Lease getting good protection, wants to throw deep ball downfield, looking for Brooklyn Bruce, and he had him at midfield, and Bruce dropped it again. Oh boy. He's hanging his head right now too. Brooklyn knows he's had his hands on plenty of balls tonight. That one was going to break something open, and Lease put it right where it needed to go, and there's just a confidence issue there. When Brooklyn Bruce is catching footballs thrown by the other team's quarterback, he can't miss tonight. But when it's his own quarterback throwing him to him, he can't reel one in. That one was wide open at the 50 against double coverage, and it brings up second down and 15. Well, there's 1:53 left now, and if you're Central, Wapeton's got all 3 of their timeouts remaining. So you might think about forcing them to use a timeout or 2 here before you would give them the football back on second and 15. Naz Fisher back in the game. Noah Lease will come on out of the pistol. 4 receivers, trip triangle bunch off the right. Going to throw to the right side. Pass caught. Eli Thompson trying to step out of a tackle and does. Head down. Bull rushes across the 20, 22. And a gain maybe of around 4 on the catch by Eli Thompson. Second catch tonight for Thompson. And third down and 10 coming up for Central. Ball stays in bounds. Clock will continue to roll. And Wapeton will be happy to not use a timeout here. And the play clock is not running again for some reason. Got running a little bit late, so Central might be able to sneak a few seconds out of this one. Third down and 10. Got 3 receivers, twins to the left-hand side of the field for Noah Lease. Naz Fisher is a running back. I would expect he gets the ball here. I expected wrong. Fisher in there to block. Lee stepping up in the pocket, looking to throw, being chased. Going to run to the right side of the field, looking upfield, and is knocked out of bounds shy of the 30. And that will stop the clock. He'll be out of bounds at the 28-yard line. Well, Central going to change out personnel. Their last couple of punts didn't go so well. Noah Lease will gain 6. It's 4th and 4, and the clock will stop with 59 seconds left to go here in the opening half. The lone scorer for Wahpeton tonight has been in special teams. Braden Steffens is back to return the punt. He waits at the Wahpeton 40. Blake Solberg on. Low snap this time. Kicks it away. Again, not a lot of distance. Clears the Central 40, and a pro Knights hop to the 46. And Wapeton will take over at the Central 46-yard line. 50 seconds to go, and the Huskies have their full complement of timeouts to try to get one back and cut this to a 1-score game coming up at halftime. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is our coverage of high school football on KBMW Wapeton and KNOX Grand Forks. Ryan Cunningham with you. Jacob Lindemann, our videography work tonight on first down. Screen pass near side, and Michael Peterson trying to stretch him way out to the sideline. He'll be brought down inbounds ahead of the Central 45 to the 44. Be a gain of just a couple of yards on Michael Peterson's first catch tonight. And here comes second down and 7. Clock remains moving with 30 seconds to go. And Trayton King remains the quarterback after Gilbertson was shaken up on the last series. King dropping back, pressure, going to throw right side of the field to Peterson, incomplete. And if you watch that play closely, for those of you on the video side, you can now see what Wahpeton's attempting to do. That upfield pressure from Grand Forks Central, pretty aggressive. They were running screen pass anyway, and the offensive line for Wapeton executed that well. Held their blocks for a couple of moments, let the rush come through to try to open up that space, but I think you're going to see Wapeton doing a little bit more of this with Central trying to pin their ears back defensively. Here comes third down and 7. Wapeton at Central's 43. Down 21-6. Huskies looking for a play. Central trying to get the football back. Throw right side, pass caught, first down and more. Quick throw into the flat for Cooper Coolmo, and Coolmo has the ball to the 31. That's a first down throw, and a timeout taken by Wahpeton as Coolmo picks up 11 yards. So a timeout will be taken by Wahpeton with 31 seconds left to go. Timeouts brought to you tonight by Apex Apparel, your hometown quick turnaround, family-owned and operated promotional shop in Grand Forks, and brought to you by Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel, and also brought to you tonight by Big Jim's Tire, your #1 supplier of egg tires in the region. Our coverage of tonight's matchup presented by PS Garage Doors. Call 772-DOOR, where the PS stands for perfect service. It also stands for Puck Stopper. They've used that one before. What does that mean? If your garage door has stopped one too many pucks and it's not looking like you want it to, maybe it's time for a new garage door. Stop and see them for painless shopping in the warehouse district in the industrial park in Grand Forks. 4733 Demers, right on the other side of the I-29 overpass. PS Garage Doors bringing you our coverage here tonight. Huskies will huddle up. There will be halftime festivities tonight for Grand Forks Central during the halftime. And we always have an opportunity to see some nice things when we get to halftime, see how the kids have come out to celebrate here tonight. And here comes Wahpeton on first down and 10 from the Central 31-yard line. Again, their athletes in space can create problems. They've got a heck of a wide receiver core. Trayton King waiting for a shotgun snap. Michael Peterson behind him. King dropping back, being pressured. Flushed out of the pocket. Rolling right side. Looking downfield. Throws to a comeback route, and the pass is caught inside the Grand Forks Central 15 by Braden Steffens. He'll be brought down to the 15-yard line. Got his hands on it at about the 10, but didn't really secure it till he got to the 15. 16-yard pickup for Braden Steffens on his first catch tonight. And another timeout taken by the Huskies. So another timeout taken by Wahpeton. Just kind of looking through some of the halftime festivities they're going to have tonight for Grand Forks Central. They're going to welcome back their distinguished alumni inductee. That will be Linda Pankratz, class of 1973, Linda Olson Pankratz. And that is reserved for a Central night that has made an impact on communities and professions and serves as a model of success in Grand Forks. 6 other classes of alumni inducted over the 139 years of Central's graduating class. It's a heck of an award. 1973 graduate, BS in Business Administration from UND 76, honorary Doctor of Letters in UND at 2014, attended Northwestern and Stanford, Chief Executive Officer of Mountain Capital LLC. One of the awards that they'll present tonight. Out of the timeout for Wahpeton. First down and 10 from the 15 of Central. 21-6, Knights by 15. Central looking to cut into it. Trayton King dropping back, going to throw again to the coffin corner. Wide open, Braden Steffens. He may have been out of bounds. It's a touchdown is the call. Braden Steffens hauls it in for a 15-yard touchdown catch. And just like that, Wahpeton makes it a one-score game with the extra point. 21-12 with the convert pending. And it's a football game again. And you see the backup quarterback, Trayton King, come in. We talked about how both of these men could get the thing done tonight. Jack Gilbertson shaken up on a series a couple of moments ago. Trayton King comes in, and with those specialty players, and boy, Wahpeton did this a couple of years ago down at their house as well. Central with one job at the end of a half. Don't let someone get behind you. That time someone got behind them, and that is the deception of this team. Wahpeton will go for a 2-point conversion. Big play here if they come up empty. Still a 2-score lead for Central. Trayton King out of the shotgun. Motions a receiver. Going to roll right side. Throws in the flat. Pass caught. Easy 2-point conversion for Kerper Kumo. And with time out on the clock. That was the final play of the opening half. And Wapeton's going into the locker room with all the momentum tonight. Grand Forks Central taking a 21-0 lead, and we're going to see Wahpeton come back with 14 unanswered points and cut the lead to 7, 21-14 as we go to halftime. Our halftime report will be brought to you by High Plains Water, your source for awesome water in Grand Forks, and brought to you by Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel. And we'll have our halftime highlights for you in just a couple of moments, so do stay with us. This is our coverage of high school football on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports.
Whether it's a golf course, your lawn, a pasture on your farm, cover crop, or even a food plot to help you get that big buck, Rivards Turf and Forage of Grand Forks has developed, mixed, and packaged the premium specialized seed you need for almost every application. Go to rivards.com.
Rivals on the ice, united in the stands, and everyone's geared up from Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Hockey gear, fan apparel, Nodak Pride, we've got it all and more. Locally owned, 1004 South Washington Street. Shop local, shop Jarrell's.
Grand Trailer Sales in East Grand Forks is your go-to spot for enclosed utility, flatbed, and dump trailers in the Red River Valley. They have the biggest selection on hand of trailers with great pricing. If you're looking for parts, service, or simply to buy, GrandTrailersales.com.
Signature Graphics in East Grand Forks is your one-stop shop for all your branding and design needs. From embroidery, vinyl wrapping, laser print, and more fully customized from start to finish, all in-house. Signature Graphics. We craft your vision. You watch it come to life.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
It's hard to explain what this feels like. We could try to put it into words, but nothing compares to experiencing it for yourself. You just have to get in the seat.
Visit True North Equipment at any of our 10 locations or at www.truenorthequipment.com.
Spray Advantage of Grand Forks carries everything you need for the chemical and fertilizer application on your farm. Pumps, tips, and tanks from 3 gallons all the way up to 10,000 gallons on hand. They can help with parts and accessories for the fertilizer and tillage equipment on your farm too. SprayAdvantage.com.
Apex Apparel is your quick turnaround apparel and promotional item shop in Grand Forks. If you're looking for direct-to-garment printing, embroidery work, or a huge selection of promotional items, come to Apex Apparel, your locally owned, family-run, quick turnaround apparel shop in Grand Forks.
The Ski and Bike Shop proudly supports our local high school athletes on the field, the court, and beyond. Just like sports, adventure starts with the right gear. The Ski and Bike Shop, where your next adventure begins.
This is the KNOX Intermission Report, presented by Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel, and High Plains Water, your source for awesome water.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school football on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network. KNOX Live Sports tonight, also on KBMW in Wapeton, KNOX Radio in Grand Forks. We go to halftime, and we've got a football game on our hands. Grand Forks Central stormed out to a 21-0 lead. A pick six for touchdown, an 81-yard touchdown run by Naz Fisher. But the Knights have had near misses tonight, a handful of dropped passes. And in the meantime, Wapeton's taken advantage with a couple of very successful offensive drives, to include Trayton King coming in to relieve Jack Gilbertson after an injury at quarterback. King leads his team down the field after a short punt. They get in on a 54-yard drive and a 15-yard touchdown strike to Braden Steffens on the final play of the opening half, as Wapeton back within a 7-point margin by a score of 21-14. Our halftime report tonight is brought to you by our friends at Grand Forks Welding and Machine and High Plains Water. Grand Forks Welding and Machine, they are the men of steel. During this harvest season, if you have breakdown trouble, you need Grand Forks Welding and Machine. Shafts that break or bend, holes that need tightening, they can make sure that you do not suffer downtime with your harvest effort. Grand Forks Welding and Machine, they are the men of steel. And High Plains Water, your source for awesome water in Grand Forks. Get the chemicals out, get the taste in with High Plains Water. Let them show you how you can have better tasting tap water with a system from High Plains Water. Along with that, chemicals out, cleaner laundry with less detergent, no more scaly buildup, and of course, you're going to have appliances that last longer. High Plains Water, your source for awesome water in Grand Forks. Well, as we mentioned, Central built up a big lead early in this matchup tonight and seemed to have everything going the right direction. Wahpeton comes back down the stretch, and they turn it into a football game again. Let's take a look at some of the first half highlights that we had for you. Get started early, Wahpeton with a football and a fourth down play. A roll by Jack Gilbertson. You'll see the first of a couple of interceptions tonight from Brooklyn Bruce. He had no problem catching the ball when the other quarterback was throwing to him. Just had some dropsies on his own end. And then on the scoring drive, Noah Lease, a great throw to Zaid Martin right in between a pair of men in coverage. First touchdown made it 7-0 in favor of Grand Forks Central. Again, for those of you on the video side, our highlights tonight coming here at halftime. Here's a rollout by Gilbertson, and this leads to the pick six. A big play by Brooklyn Bruce, who fights off a couple of pieces of contact and drives his way into the end zone. And then the big blow for Grand Forks Central that seemed to have them on cruise control. Naz Fisher cuts to the inside, and he is gone down the sideline. Ends up making his way in from 81 yards out, but the lead would not hold. A 96-yard kickoff return for touchdown for Caden Barth. That came at 8:28 left of the third. That answered Fisher's touchdown by just 16 seconds. And then on the final drive of the half and on the final play, Trayton King finds Braden Steffens in the back of the end zone for a 15-yard touchdown catch to cut the score to 21-14, currently in favor of Grand Forks Central. The numbers that we have at halftime as we continue with our halftime summary, brought to you by High Plains Water and brought to you tonight by Grand Forks Welding and Machine. Halftime summary this evening has Grand Forks Central outgaining Wapeton 178-163. Wapeton with 100 yards on the ground, rushing 68 yards through the air this evening. Jack Gilbertson, 71 yards on the ground tonight. He is the leader on the rushing side of things. 31 yards on a pair of catches and a touchdown for Braden Steffens to lead the thing in the receiver corps. One catch for Isaiah Bruscher for 23 yards that continued to drive. That was a big one. For Grand Forks Central, 153 yards on the ground tonight and 53 through the air, led by the big run from Naz Fisher, who has 117 yards on the ground this evening, but no one else really factoring into the running game yet. Anthem Perales with 18 yards on the ground. Eli Thompson, a pair of catches for 37 yards, and Zaid Martin, 2 catches for 13 yards, and of course, he had a touchdown catch earlier tonight as well for Grand Forks Central. And that brings us to a 21-14 score for Grand Forks Central over Wapeton at halftime here at Cushman Field in Grand Forks tonight. That's your halftime summary, and it's brought to you this evening by High Plains Water, your source for awesome water in Grand Forks, and by Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the men of steel. More in our halftime report as we continue, so do stay with us. We'll continue along with our coverage to include a look at maybe a couple of scores on games that we have going on around our area, and we'll get you back into second half football here in just a bit. We'll also introduce, for those of you in Grand Forks tonight, the homecoming royalty, as it is homecoming here for Grand Forks Central tonight. Stay with us as we continue our coverage of high school football. At the break, it's Central 21, Wapeton 14. Our coverage of high school football continues in just a couple of moments on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports, KNOX Radio in Grand Forks, KBMW Radio in Wapeton. We're back with more next.
Rust, salt, and time are the biggest enemies for a fuel tank. Never fear, because Grand Forks Welding is here to take care of your enemies for you. We not only fix or patch your tanks, but we can custom fabricate any kind of replacement fuel tanks or service unit. Go to grandforkswelding.com.
Your family deserves clean, filtered water. High Plains Water offers Millennium Drink Water System, which delivers great tasting water and also eliminates harmful impurities. Professionally installed and maintained by High Plains Water of Grand Forks. See them at highplainswater.com.
Big Jim's Tire is the area's #1 farm and ag tire supplier, and with harvest here, you want the best. Best tires, best service, and Big Jim's will get it done fast to get you moving again. Big Jim's Tire, Grand Forks.
Today, the PS stands for proper service for your home, farm, or business, which is what you'll get from the team at PS Garage Doors in Grand Forks. Whether you need a door fixed or just thinking about replacing what you already have, get your proper service at psgaragedoors.com.
Nothing feels or performs better than a properly fitted golf club. Whether it's irons, driver, or putter, call us today for your free club fitting. For over 30 years, the Golf Center in Grand Forks has been your club fitting leader.
Pro Ag in Grand Forks and Grafton carries the equipment and parts on hand to make your farming operation run smooth. They carry all major brands like Honeybee, Alloway, Amity, Artex, Hardy, Capello, Monosem, Pickett, Will Rich, and Black Ace. So whether you're trading in, buying, or just need parts, go to ProAgEquip.com to see everything Pro Ag has to offer.
We very much take a lot of pride in our work. Customer service has always been our #1.
We have the best materials. You're going to have the best people in the area to do the job.
If you can dream it up, we can make it happen.
Or head to gworkslf.com to get started.
From tears in your car, truck, boat, or farm equipment seats to making boat covers or complete restorations of the interior of your hot rod, Finest Auto Trim in Grand Forks can make the inside of your rides look brand new. Big or small, Finest Auto Trim can cover it all. To get a quote, go to finestautotrim.com.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school football on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports, and KNOX Radio in Grand Forks, and also tonight on KBMW in Wapeton, where we continue along with our halftime report tonight. Our halftime report is brought to you this evening by Grand Forks Welding and Machine. The Men of Steel, they're ready to make sure that they can carry you through the upcoming harvest season. They'll tighten up those bolts, they'll tighten up those holes, and they'll also repair those twisted and broken shafts at Grand Forks Welding and Machine. And High Plains Water, your source for awesome water in Grand Forks. High Plains Water can show you how to get the chemicals out of your water, the taste in, and all the benefits of treated water with a system from High Plains Water. They bring you our halftime report tonight. High Plains Water, your source for awesome water in Grand Forks. Ryan Cunningham with you here this evening. Jacob Lindemann is our videographer that we have for you tonight. And Grand Forks Central leading by a score of 21-14 here in our halftime presentation that we have for you this evening. Homecoming royalty this year for Grand Forks Central. The attendants are Julia Bybee and Trey Clausen, Avery Sparts and Edwin Bartholomew, Piper Severson and Eli Thompson. And then the homecoming court this evening. And the homecoming court comes out, and I believe the homecoming queen is Stella Blue, and Brooklyn Bruce, the homecoming king for Grand Forks Central. And again, a big round of applause for them here tonight as they represent their school and their teams out on the field. Just kind of watching in the crowd right now. We've got something going on that we're just trying to get our camera guy down to here as right now we're trying to get Jacob Lindemann down to a piece of equipment that we have down there as well. And I think he's probably located it at this point. Well, maybe not. Let's see if he found it here. He's looking. No, he doesn't have what we're looking for at this point. We were trying to guide our videographer down to a piece of equipment that we have in the crowd tonight, and Jacob and I haven't worked all that much together, so we're not really speaking the same language as each other at this point. So we apologize for the delay. Looks like you got it now. All right, very good. All right, way to go, Jacob. He's saving the day here. Not just shooting the video tonight is Jacob. He's actually carrying up pieces of equipment that we have for you tonight as well. Former UND football player Jacob Lindemann Yep. I think we got where we're going here. Yep. Yep. All right. There we go. That saved. That snared victory from the jaws of defeat at that point. We're getting ready for the start of the second half and see if we can grab a couple of other scores. We had another matchup going on tonight with our live streams that we had this evening. And see what we have here up in Grafton tonight. They're late in the matchup there, and Harvey Wells County leading Grafton by a score of 18-14 this evening as far as the matchup that we had going on up there tonight. And that was, we thought, was going to be a good one. Those two teams were jockeying for position for a playoff spot out of that region of high school football at the 1A level. So we thought that one would be a pretty good one. And that one got started early. That was a 5:30 kickoff. Our game is ahead of the other games that are going on out there tonight. So we got started at 6. There are a few more teams, though, that are continuing to get the 6 o'clock starts going. Number 1, Langdon at the 1A level tonight, leading Carrington 13-7. And that one has about 2 minutes to go in the opening quarter there. So we'll keep you up to date with the latest on that matchup going on tonight. Carrington has come back to actually had the lead, and Langdon's come back to score a couple of touchdowns in that matchup to right the ship, so to speak. And not a whole lot of other scores that are coming in tonight. We do know that up in Park River tonight, Park River Fordville Lankin is the second-ranked team in that 1A level, I believe, and or maybe the third, and they're leading Turtle Mountain by a score of 50-6. On our all-true scoreboard. Central will get the football to start the second half. It's another onside squib kick. Ball was loose, but it is covered and down on the field by Grand Forks Central's number 23, Marcus Midgarden. And we'll see Grand Forks Central taking over at their own 39-yard line. Well, okay. First half in the books, 21-14. Wapeton trailing Grand Forks Central by a touchdown, but we thought things being decided in favor of Grand Forks Central, and Wapeton comes back with a flurry to make this a one-score ball game, and we'll see how Grand Forks Central responds after going into the locker room with a few doldrums here. Noah Lease coming out of the shotgun. Eli Thompson, a motion from left to right. Naz Fisher is the back in the backfield. Another blitz coming from Wapeton. Fisher runs away from it outside the number, stiff arms a man 50, and will be edged out of bounds at around the 46, and that's a very quick 15-yard pickup for Naz Fisher. Well, you had heard in the pregame report Jake Schauer saying that Naz Fisher isn't really being fed the ball steadily with the running back core that they have right now. But with the turnover issues that they've had tonight, Central's put the ball on the ground. They haven't turned it over, but they fumbled the ball in a couple of exchanges. And with the missed opportunities they've had in the passing game, and this being a divisional game, you probably feel compelled to give Fisher the first possession and try to really just ram your way down the field and see if you can regain a little bit of momentum in the matchup. Fisher again, left side, found a hole. He's to the numbers, the 40, the 35. Got out of a tackle as he stepped out of bounds at the 30. He'll be knocked out of bounds by Braden Stephens, but Fisher winning the physical battles. He's got 17 more yards on that carry. And it's first down and 10 for Grand Forks Central at the 30-yard line of Wapeton. So Central getting a couple of big bursts from Naz Fisher to get down the field, and it's first down and 10 Knights at the 30 of the Wapeton Huskies. Opening possession of the second half. Knights leading 21-14, but that lead has been cut by 14 straight points from Wapeton. Now Anton Perales back in the game. Noah Lease again out of the pistol. He'll give to Perales, working right side, trying to find the edge. Found it down the hash mark, burst of speed, 15 to the 10. He's inside the 10-yard line. It's first down and goal for Grand Forks Central at the 9, a 21-yard pickup for Anton Perales. They're two very different backs, and you can see that. Perales with some lateral speed that's really tough to catch up with, whereas Naz Fisher has downfield speed and physicality, but it's a really nice changeup in the running back core for Grand Forks Central. The Knights have a first and goal from the 9. This is where things can get tough in this situation, though. Pair of receivers to the left. The Knights struggled the first time they were in the red zone tonight. Thompson motioning behind the line of scrimmage. High snap, Fisher right side, looking hole, busts inside the 5, carries a pile to the end zone. It's a Central touchdown. Naz Fisher in from 9 yards out. 158 yards on the night now for Naz Fisher. And the Knights go right down the field and score to start the second half. And they'll take a 27-14 lead. We'll take a look at it again coming up after we make our way towards the break. But Fisher into the end zone. Time on the clock. They use just 1 minute and 4 seconds of the clock to get that one in. And Fisher from 9 yards out scores. And Rylan Dobrovolny will come on now to attempt another extra point. He's perfect on the night. Another kick is on the way. It is good. And it's 28-14. Grand Forks Central regains some momentum as we have a timeout on the field with the clock at 10:56 to play. This is our coverage of high school football on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports.
Open all year round to the public, Eagles Crest offers space for holiday parties and family get-togethers. And of course, daily specials, appetizers, and all your favorites, including Sunday brunch buffets. Come in for the view and delicious meals at Eagles Crest Grill.
If you've got an electrical emergency, call RBB Electric. We are your 24/7 electrician. Your call will always be answered by an RBB employee ready to help 24/7. RBB Electric is on time every time. Your time is valuable, and we don't waste it. RBB Electric always calls ahead to schedule service. We are online always. If you suffer from slow download speeds, call our certified network designers and installers. On call, on time, and online. RBB Electric won't leave you in the dark. RBB Electric, your 24/7 electricians.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school football on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports, Grand Forks, KNOX Radio, Wahpeton, KBMW tonight. Naz Fisher goes in from 9 yards out. Naz Fisher has 158 yards rushing tonight. And the Knights are back up by 2 scores. It's 28-14, Grand Forks Central with the lead. And Rylan Dobrovolny will kick the football away for the Knights. This kickoff deep, and this one's going to chase Stephens into the end zone, but he'll have no opportunity to return a touchback. And Wapeton will come out to the 20-yard line to start their next possession. So the Huskies will come out to the 20, and it will be 1st and 10 for Wapeton. And now we'll see how the Huskies respond to a pretty intense challenge that's been thrown by Grand Forks Central. Hard to ignore that situation if you're Wapeton. Central came out on their opening possession, and they really didn't take long to score. And so you feel like, okay, if they're going to get behind that kind of a running attack and we're going to have a problem with it, we're going to have to find a way here. Snap taken by Trayton King. Big hit on Michael Peterson as he comes burrowing in off right guard. He's down to the 23-yard line, short gain. He took an absolute pop in the hole that time coming from Eli Fisher, the nose guard. It's a gain of 2 yards from Michael Peterson. Peterson out to 32 tonight. And it's 2nd down and 8 for for Wapeton at their own 22. Trayton King remains the quarterback. Jack Gilbertson shaken up at the end of the opening half, has not returned since exiting the game. King takes the snap, going to call his own number on his own read, spun out of a tackle, tries to cut back, hit again in the backfield, and Johnny Sherrick won't let him go the second time. Forward progress gets him back to the 18, but that'll be a loss of about 4 yards on the play for Trayton King. So here comes 3rd down and 12 for Wapeton. And a big play here early in the 3rd quarter. Central came out through a big punch. And if Wapeton gives up the ball in 3 quick plays, Central a chance to try to really claim control of the matchup. Cover 2 shell here for Central. Quick throw by King over the middle. Pass is caught short of the 1st down, up and around the 27-yard line. Believe that catch came from Caden Barth on that play. We have a numbers correction that we have to make on our call sheet tonight. We were told number 5 for Caden Barth. He's number 6, but we got it. It'll be a gain of around 9 yards on the catch is what they're going to give Caden Barth. So Caden Barth gets 9, and it's 4th down and 3. Barth's first catch tonight. And the Huskies will elect to punt the football from deep in their own end. Kick is away, line drive, low kick. Central puts the scatter drill on as this rolls in favor of Wapeton to the Central 46-yard line. So the Knights will have a short porch to go along with it. So Central gets the ball back their own 46-yard line. They lead by a score of 28-14 on the All True scoreboard. Scoreboard updates are brought to you by Alltrue. Regular screenings with Alltrue's care team can detect illness before symptoms begin. Stay in the game of wellness. Schedule an appointment. Visit alltrue.org or call 780-5000. Knights first and 10, their own 46. Homecoming night for Central. Lights on now in full effect. Pretty picture here tonight at Cushman Field. Pair of receivers coming to the near side of the football field. Brooklyn Bruce back in the game. He could use a catch in the worst way. He's had a really, really rough night. First down and 10. And out of the pistol, Brody Ledegy. He was going to give it away to the right side for Anthem. Sheds a couple of tackles on the sideline, the 40, and knocked out of bounds at around the 39-yard line. They'll say just inside the 40, but Perales, he'll pick up 13 yards on the play. Perales now out to 45 yards on the night. And Grand Forks Central getting behind the running game. And Jake Schauer has got some old school coaching in his blood. The head coach of Wapeton, the grandson of Bob King, who's a legendary coach in Valley City, of course, a former executive secretary of the High School Activities Association. And you can just tell when you talk to Jake, he's got some old school. That message in the halftime report was very likely, we're just going to keep running the ball, guys. You're going to go ahead and prove it. Anthem Perales gets another carry, head down ahead of the 35 and drives his way down to the 33. Be a gain of 7 yards for Anthem Perales. A lot of hitting going on down the stretch. Cooper Coolmo will come up with a tackle for Wahpeton out of the safety spot, but another 7-yard pickup for Anthem Perales. And the gouges just kind of continue here for Grand Forks Central. Anthem Perales, I had an incorrect number a couple of moments ago for Anthem Perales. He's now out to 53 yards on the night in rushing. Second down and 3 for Central at the Wapeton 33-yard line. The pistol again, now Naz Fisher comes into the backfield. Eli Thompson motioning from right to left. A little play action with Ledegy. He's in trouble. Rolls away from it. Looking downfield. Get a tuck and run. Found the sideline. Is escorted out of bounds. Maybe shy of the line of scrimmage. This may be a quarterback sack. Now that'll be a loss of 3 yards on the play for Brody Ledegy. So Ledegy will lose 3 yards. It'll be on the run. So here comes third down and 6 for Grand Forks Central with the ball at Wapeton's 36-yard line. Clock will halt as the play went out of bounds. 8 minutes to play here in the third quarter. This is a big defensive play coming up here for Wapeton. You probably induce a punt in this situation if you get a stop. You need the ball, and you have to prevent Central from scoring to try to grab a little of that old Mo back in this game. Eli Thompson motions from right to left. And the turn to give to Naz Fisher. Trying to get outside. He's not getting there. Caden Barth, big tackle. He attacks Naz Fisher in the backfield, wraps him up, and wins the one-on-one battle back at the 39 for a loss of 3 yards for Naz Fisher. That hasn't happened much tonight where Naz Fisher finds himself in trouble. Central has not put the punting unit into the game, and Brody Ledegy has come over to the sideline to get a play. From the 39 of Wapeton, this is an odd decision for Grand Forks Central. 4th and 9 from Wapeton's 39-yard line. Play clock at 13 seconds. Game clock 7:15 here in the third quarter. Ledegy trying to induce a jump. And now Central, I believe, is going to call for timeout. So the Knights will call for a stoppage with 4th down and 9 awaiting them. And a timeout taken by Central. Brought to you tonight by Apex Apparel, your hometown quick turnaround family-operated promotional shop in Grand Forks. You'll find them on Demers. They do great work with promotional items as well as promotional apparel. And also by Big Jim's Tire, your #1 supplier of egg tires in the region. They're on call for you, so during this harvest season, if you run into tire problems, they will come to you to make sure that you keep rolling. And that harvest probably going to kick up in some full force. I mean, already hauling the beans to the plants, but the warm weather's kept us from piling them up. That's going to change coming up this weekend. One more warm day coming up tomorrow. And Sunday is going to feel a whole lot different than today felt. So out of the timeout, Central leaves their offense on the field. Now, Jake Schauer played at Valley City State. And they have a little play that they used to call the Vegas, where the quarterback would roll and kick the football. Would they do that here on 4th down and 9? Ledegy taking the snap, going to roll, and then decides to throw the football, and he's got Zaid Martin waiting for a first down catch up at the 25-yard line. That's a gutsy throw and a gutsy play call. Zaid Martin with a 14-yard catch, and Central's going to keep the ball. Oh, boy. You bring in the sophomore quarterback, and you put the ball in his hands, the ball out kind of in the middle of the football field in a 2-score game. You risk giving Wahpeton the football back, and instead, ice water throw down the field for a first down, and Grand Forks Central has the ball at Wapeton's 26-yard line. Still 28-14. Knights by 2 scores, and Central has a pair of receivers to the left. Brooklyn Bruce on the outside of the formation. Ledegy waiting for the snap. Fisher, left side looking, picking a hole. Now second level, sprints his way between the safeties into the end zone for a Grand Forks Central touchdown. 26-yard touchdown run for Naz Fisher, who was taken down for a loss on his last play. This time he goes hard to the end zone, and Central's up by 20. Let's take a look at it again on the American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay. Naz Fisher with some really patient running in this scenario. Ends up waiting for a hole to open up and then just decides I've got a path that I'm going right through it, fought off the contact, and jogs his way into the end zone for a Grand Forks Central touchdown. And that makes it a 34-14 lead as Rylan Dobrovolny will come on to attempt the extra point. Good snap, kick on the way again, and the goalkeeper is 5 for 5 tonight. 35-14, Central rebuilds their 21-point edge and has a big lead going deep into the third quarter. We have a timeout for Apex Apparel, your hometown quick turnaround, family-operated promotional shop in Grand Forks, and a timeout brought to you tonight as well by Big Jim's Tire. This is our coverage of high school football on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports.
Whether it's a golf course, your lawn, a pasture on your farm, cover crop, or even a food plot to help you get that big buck, Rivards Turf and Forage of Grand Forks has developed, mixed, and packaged the premium specialized seed you need for almost every application. Go to rivards.com.
Rivals on the ice, united in the stands, and everyone's geared up from Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Hockey gear, fan apparel, Nodak Pride, we've got it all and more. Locally owned, 1004 South Washington Street. Shop local, shop Jarrell's.
Grand Trailer Sales in East Grand Forks is your go-to spot for enclosed utility, flatbed, and dump trailers in the Red River Valley. They have the biggest selection on hand of trailers with great pricing. If you're looking for parts, service, or simply to buy, GrandTrailersSales.com.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school football on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports from Cushman Field tonight. Grand Forks Central starting to roll once again. Pair of rushing touchdowns in the second half for Naz Fisher, who's showing you what he's all about. 181 yards for Naz Fisher tonight. And Rylan Dobrovolny will approach another kickoff for Grand Forks Central and grounds one up the middle. Braden Steffens will take it on a hop at the 11-yard line. This is where Wapeton's dangerous, and Steffens outside the numbers again. Far sideline, cuts back over the middle of the field, and Steffens gets a penalty marker that's going to wipe out a kickoff return for touchdown. Flag thrown on the far side of the field, and it's almost for assuredly a blocking infraction against Wapeton. Central's got to figure something out on special teams. That would have been the second kickoff return surrendered for touchdown tonight. But a flag is down at the Central 26. And we'll see what Wapeton may have done. Are they ruling touchdown? It's going to be a holding penalty against Wapeton. It's not touchdown. That's Craig Hahn, one of our officials, waiting for the ball rotation tonight. And the Central crowd breaks out with a "you can't do that" chant. Didn't see the holding penalty. Not a lot of, I guess you could say, debate coming from the Wapeton sideline on it. But here comes Wapeton, and Trayton King is going to stay in at the quarterback spot, so it would appear that the Huskies are going to ride Trayton King to the finish. 35-14, Central on top by 21. And it's first down and 10 for Wapeton. They are at Central's 36. The kickoff return may not score, but still very beneficial kickoff return coming from Braden Steffens. Kind of a floating snap. Trayton King calling his own number, dragged down right at the line of scrimmage. It looked like there was a hole on the left side of the field, but he just could not get around the grasp of Logan Voorhees, who comes up with a stop. Naz Fisher in on part of it as well. And it's 2nd down and 10 for Wahpeton. Ball still at the Grand Forks Central 36-yard line. Clock moving with 5:45 to go. Still plenty of space left in this one, however. 2nd down and 10 coming up. This is the 3rd quarter, obviously, so still a ways to go in the 4th quarter. And Wahpeton, to get a score back, they can stay in the game. Little option pitch. Peterson, big hole in the middle of the football field over the hash marks. Took a big hit as he got to the 25-yard line and is down there. Stop coming in from Johnny Sherrick, Tyson Vanyo, but Peterson will take it down to the 25-yard line, and it's going to be an 11-yard pickup for Michael Peterson. One thing that Wahpeton has been able to do tonight is they've been able to get their specialty players into places where they can find space. They've been able to do that. They've been able to poke some holes in this defense that Grand Forks Central has, and that defense is supposed to be a pretty good defense, but South opened it up last week, and Wahpeton maybe taking a page out of the book. From the 25, Trayton King taking a snap, throwing in the flat, pass incomplete. Intended for Isaiah Bruchert coming off the line towards the left. Good coverage coming from Central on the flat. That will be incomplete. Next week, got some big ones coming up. First of all, we'll have soccer between Grand Forks, Red River, and West Fargo. That'll be on Tuesday night. That'll be a big one for Red River trying to clinch a spot in the state tournament. We'll have that for you on KNOX Live Sports video coverage there. 2nd down and 10, 4 receivers. Trayton King waiting for a snap. He's got it. Throws to the right side of the field. Pass caught right around the yards to gain, and driven back is Caden Barth. Got up to the 15-yard line, though, and that may be enough for a first down. Brooklyn Bruce giving him a lot of space in front. Came up and made the stop. But it's going to be a first down. Caden Barth with his 2nd catch tonight. It'll be first down and 10 at the 15-yard line of Central for Wahpeton. Wahpeton not out of this yet. Still plenty of time left to go 3rd quarter. 4:20 left. And Wahpeton trying to find their way into the end zone to cut this 21-point lead back to 14. Trayton King, 3 receivers, twins to the right, takes the snap. Calling his own number up the middle of the field, caught from behind and dropped behind the line of scrimmage. Brody Melliger will come up with a stop, short gain of a couple of yards for Trayton King. King hasn't had a big running night tonight. Next week, Thursday, volleyball, Red River at Central. And then next week on the Minnesota side, you'll start to see the staggered starts for East Grand Forks. They play the last 3 weeks, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, getting ready for the section playoffs. They've got Roseau at East Grand Forks coming up on Thursday night next week in football. That'll be our next football broadcast. 2nd down and 8. Trayton King giving the ball away in the backfield. Peterson slipping out of the grasp of some Knights. One thing that Central has not done well is tackle tonight. Peterson breaking out of those tackles, gaining 3 more yards the hard way. Johnny Sherrick comes up with a stop for Central. And here comes 3rd down, and yeah, call it 7. They're going to spot the ball at the Central 11-yard line. Should be 3rd down and 6, something like that. Down marker might be a little off over on the side. And then next week, Kindred comes here to take on Grand Forks Central in high school football. That'll be a matchup that people will be looking forward to seeing. Out of the gun, Trayton King on 3rd down and 7. Takes a shotgun snap, flushed, rolling right side. Looking towards the end zone, head down, running. Took a hit at the 5, knocked out of bounds. Let's see where they put the stop on him. It's at the 6. That will not be enough for a first down. He'll be a yard shy. He'll pick up 6 yards, and it's 4th down and 1 for Wapeton at the Grand Forks Central 6-yard line. Well, there's really no good result that comes out of this for 3, and Wapeton has been going for 2 anyway tonight. So here's 4th down and 1, and a big, big play for the Huskies. 4th and 1, Peterson in the backfield, Trayton King to his left. King waiting out of the pistol, oversees the defense, drops back, wants to throw, being chased, hit, steps out of it, cuts back over the middle, chased again, stopped. He's brought down from behind by Zethan Feltman on a huge quarterback sack for Central to deny Wapeton points in Central's end. Wow. What a play all the way around. And you saw Zethan Feldman come in, get run out of the play, very evasive Trayton King. Feltman overran him, then came back to him, and the defense was there to hold him up enough to come back to get him. And Central holds on to the lead and has a first down and 10 coming up. So first down and 10 coming up for Grand Forks Central. The ball at their own 14-yard line. They lead 34-14 on our All-True scoreboard. And the Knights will bring their offense back onto the field. Brody Ledegy turning and giving this one away in the backfield. New running back now, Carson Cutterba.
Carson Cutterba on the carry.
And Cutterba will pick up maybe a yard. That'll bring up second down and 9 for Grand Forks Central. Well, as you heard tonight, stop made by Isaiah Bruchard for Wahpeton, but we were talking with Jake Schauer in our pregame report tonight about the running back rotation, and he said everyone's going to eat. However, when the chips were down to start this second half, you could kind of tell who the guys were going to be. Lots of Naz Fisher, lots of Anton Perales. Now working in Carson Cutterba, just a youngster, but they feel really good about him. He's got a blocker on the near side of the field, cuts back over the numbers, puts a move on. Now outside the numbers 30, 35, down the sideline, near the 40, out of bounds at the 39-yard line. Nice gain for Carson Cutterba. He's going to pick up 23 yards on the play. Cutterba 24 carries for 153 yards on the season coming in tonight. And Central has the ball at their own 39-yard line, leading 35-14 on our all-true scoreboard. And the Knights will have it at the 39. Just looking now to possess the football. That's all they want at this point. Take time off the clock, get this thing into the fourth quarter. Pair of receivers to the right. Now Lease back in. We'll give this away. Cutterba still continues to be the nope. This is Anton Perales. My apologies. And Perales refusing to go down across the 45 out to the 46 for a gain of 7. That'll give Perales 60 yards tonight. And the running number for Grand Forks Central getting big. Naz Fisher 181. Anton Perales 60. That makes it 241 for Perales. Cutterba with 27. It's going to roll you out to what, about 270? So, and you got a 12-yard run from Clausen. We're approaching a 300-yard rushing night for Grand Forks Central with what they've done here in the second half. Second down and 3. Pistol formation again. Perales is back in. Lease is the quarterback. Zaid Martin motioning from left to right. Lease will take the snap, play action, dropping back to throw. Throws over the middle. Martin's there. Martin can't make the catch. Boy, I'll tell you what, when this game is over, Jake Schauer is going to pull his team together, and he's going to tell his receiver corps, you guys have got to help out the running game, because the quarterbacks have put the ball where it needed to be tonight. Now, that's a cover 2 beater. That's that post route for Zaid Martin. And, yes, sometimes the ball's going to be behind you, but that's one of those you got to go get. Brooklyn Bruce had 3 or 4 drops tonight. And the Knights just have not been able to catch the football this evening. Here's third down and 3 for Central. Stops the clock with 53 seconds left to go, third quarter. Pair of receivers go to the right side of the football field. A look that way by Lease, and he'll motion tight end Quante Henry in the game now from left to right. Fisher, left side, big hole. Outside the numbers, cuts back over the middle. The 40 to the 35, and he tiptoes his way out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Just give it to Naz, right? 18-yard pickup for Naz Fisher. 199 officially tonight, unofficially rather, for Naz Fisher, and that's a first down.
18 yards for Grand Forks Central, first down.
So Grand Forks Central, another first down from Naz Fisher, and of course this pounding is going to start to take its toll on that Wapeton defense at some point, you'd have to imagine. Tough to keep coming back to the hole to make another snap, or rather another stop. Each and every time you got to do that, so that's something that will add up as far as the way this thing is going to go tonight. First down and 10 for Grand Forks Central. Quante Henry in motion. Ball at the Wapeton 35. This is Cutterba up the middle of the field, spinning out of a tackler, ahead of the 25 and down to the 23-yard line for a 12-yard pickup for Carson Cutterba. I'll have Cutterba now for 39 on the night. And another first down coming up for Grand Forks Central. As the Knights just continue to march down the field. They came out of the locker room getting behind the running game, and They went to work. This is just good old-fashioned Grand Forks Central Knights football. Blue collar in the trenches and getting it done with the running backs. Noah Lease waiting for the pistol snap. Turns, Fisher, left side, trying to get out of a tackle. Cuts back, makes a man miss the 15, and rolls his way out of bounds and around the 11. And then Fisher and Braden Stephens connect for some extracurriculars on the near side boundary at about the 11-yard line, but that'll be enough for another first down. 11 more yards for Naz Fisher. That will give him 210 tonight, and that's going to be the end of the third quarter of football. Third quarter comes to an end. Central rolling, leading 35-14 with the football deep in Wapeton territory. When we come back after a timeout for Apex Apparel, your hometown quick turnaround, family-operated promotional shop in Grand Forks, and Big Jim's Tire, the #1 supplier of egg tires in the region. This is our coverage on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports, KNOX Radio Grand Forks, and KBMW in Wahpeton.
Signature Graphics in East Grand Forks is your one-stop shop for all your branding and design needs. From embroidery, vinyl wrapping, laser print, and more, fully customized from start to finish, all in-house. Signature Graphics. We craft your vision. You watch it come to life.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
It's hard to explain what this feels like. We could try to put it into words, but nothing compares to experiencing it for yourself. You just have to get in the seat.
Visit True North Equipment at any of our 10 locations or at www.truenorthequipment.com.
Timeout taken by, oh, actually, that's the end of the third quarter. My apologies. End of 3. Where was my head at? It is 35-14. Grand Forks Central on top of Wapeton. Welcome back to our coverage of high school football tonight. KNOX Radio Grand Forks, KBMW Wapeton. And on our live sports coverage on KNOX TV, YouTube. Pair of receivers to the left. Noah Lease trying to punch his team in once more to perhaps put this one out of reach with a 35-14 lead. He'll give to Carson Cutterba. Right side, Cutterba's got a gap. Cutterba to the end zone with a flag coming in. So a little bit of the drama coming out of this one as a flag is thrown. And a holding penalty will be called against Grand Forks Central. You know, there's the sophomore trying to get himself into the end zone. And doesn't have the, I mean, he's in, and you think, okay, just scored, homecoming game and everything. Something's going on in the student section tonight as well. The cheerleaders are having a pom-pom fight with the students. The cheerleaders are throwing their pom-poms at the students, and the students are throwing them back. And there are 2 cheerleaders that are being held up that are taking hits in the face from these pom-poms tonight. And the remaining cheerleaders that are on the ground that are not elevated, they just keep feeding the crowd pom-poms. I'm not sure what the wisdom is in all that. Meanwhile, first down and 20 for Grand Forks Central from the 21 of Wapeton. Cutterba starting right, trying to cut back towards the left and down at the 20 for a gain of a yard. And here comes third down, just inside the fourth quarter. And Wapeton trailing 35-14 to Grand Forks Central tonight. Scoreboard updates brought to you by All True. Regular screenings with All True's care team can detect illness before symptoms begin. Stay in the game of wellness. Schedule an appointment. Visit alltrue.org. Call 780-5000. Here comes third down and 19. We owe you a station break coming up as well, so to our producers down the line, be looking for that coming up here shortly. Pair of receivers to the right. Noah Lease will motion a tight end from right to left. And on second down and 19, Lease to throw, cover 2 beater. And that time, Brooklyn Bruce goes up and makes the catch at the 5-yard line of Wapeton. That'll get Brooklyn Bruce feeling good again. 15-yard catch for Brooklyn Bruce. That quick slant over the middle puts Central in position. It'll bring up third down and 4 from the Wapeton 5. So 3rd and 4 from Wapeton's 5-yard line. The Knights trying to make it a 40-point night against the Huskies here at Cushman Field in night homecoming. A pair of receivers to the right side of the field. Naz Fisher is back in the game. They'll motion tight end from right to left behind the line of scrimmage. Lease will give to Fisher. Fisher looking left side, and he's just going to carry a crowd into the end zone. Another stand-up touchdown for Naz Fisher. Fisher from 5 yards out gets to 215 on the night, as his night will probably come to a conclusion with 10:15 to go in the fourth quarter. That's his third rushing touchdown of the half. Naz Fisher in from 5 yards, and the Knights will take a 41-14 lead. And we will see Ryan Dobrovolny come on for the extra point opportunity. Out of the hold of Noah Lease. Snaps down, kick is on its way, and that kick is right down the middle and good. Let's go back to it again on our American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay. This is just Naz Fisher doing Naz Fisher type things. Start left, dodge one man in the hole, get stood up, and then just refuse to go down. And Naz Fisher takes himself into the end zone for a touchdown to make it 42-14. Try to get a couple of scoreboard updates if we can here before we wrap up. Again, that was a pivotal matchup tonight going on in Grafton between Grafton and Harvey, Wells County. At last report, that was 18-14 Harvey Wells County. Here tonight, this game was close at halftime. Grand Forks Central had a 21-0 lead. We take a look at our Vegan Construction Look-In, brought to you by Vegan Construction, designers, builders, engineers, quality work in the Upper Red River Valley for nearly a century. Look-In brought to you by Vegan Construction, 21-14 at halftime. Enter Naz Fisher, 3 rushing touchdowns in the second half. Fisher now out to 215 yards rushing. It's been all about the running game in the second half for Grand Forks Central. And they denied Wahpeton on a 4th down and 1 play from the Central 6. And they've taken their lead out to 42-14. And that is our Vegan Construction Game Look-In. Brought to you by Vegan Construction, designers, builders, engineers in Grand Forks. Rylan Dobrovolny will kick the football away for Grand Forks Central. And this is the one place tonight where Central has really struggled. Braden Stephens breaks another tackle outside the numbers, but this time the defender is the boundary, and he's forced out of bounds by Quante Henry at around the 31-yard line with the clock down to 10:08 to go here in the fourth quarter. So we'll see the Huskies come onto the field at their own 31, 32. Looks like they'll set them up at the 31-yard line. And we'll see what Wapeton has left in the tank here. I mean, obviously it's been a long night, and the second half hasn't gone their way. I'll tell you, they got down 21-0, and credit Wade Gilbertson and this Grand Forks, or rather this Wapeton Husky staff, to get them turned around and get them back in the football game. Michael Peterson on first down, taken on right at the point of attack, down at the 31-yard line for no gain. Stop made by Brody Melliker. Had some help up on the defensive line as well. Sawyer Hollow may have been in on part of that stop for Grand Forks Central. And it's second down and 10. Yes, Sawyer Harlow is now up on the defensive line for the Knights. He's started on the offensive line this evening, trying to give maybe his defensive line mates a little blow here. Second down and 9. Drayton King will take the snap, rolling out to the right side, throwing in the flat. Pass is caught on the right. This caught by Isaiah Bruchard, and Bruchard has a first down ahead of the 45 and out to around the 47-yard line. And an injured Knight on the play on the far side of the field as well. And that looks like it's Quante Henry that's down on the far sideline. He's got his helmet off over there and is holding out a leg. And right now, there's a very nervous Dan Carlson out there that's taking a look at Quante Henry on the far sideline. Let's give you an opportunity for a station identifier while we have the opportunity to do that with the injury time out on the field. So let's pause 10 seconds for a station identification on the radio side. This is high school football on KBMW and KNOX. Ryan Cunningham with you here tonight. Our videography work with Jacob Lindemann this evening. And right now, they're tending to Quante Henry, and they've got a handful of players around him on the far side of the field, along with several down on a knee at midfield, and not sure what the issue is for Quante, but he's down on the far side of the field. We were just saying before we took our station identifier, Quante Henry, very promising athlete for the Grand Forks Central Knights boys basketball team. And you hate to see something like this take place. And now the Wapeton Huskies, they've taken a knee as well. Quante's up. And it looks like he wants to leave the field under his own power. We're going to get some help from Naz Fisher. But Quante Henry is going to find his way over to the sideline and hopefully live to fight another day here for Grand Forks Central. As Central will come off the field, rather Quante Henry will come off the field for Grand Forks Central. Yeah, you make the transition to the winter sports season for Grand Forks Central. From what we understand, things look really, really bright for the Grand Forks Central Knights hockey team again. Key returners, and with a handful of other teams out there that have seen some players lost to the juniors. Central kind of an early favorite there. And on the boys basketball side, enough players returning after a young team a year ago to where Dan Carlson might have a good nucleus to work with at Central. A high snap to Trayton King on 1st down and 10. King takes a big hit as he gets rid of the football. He completed it to Braden Steffens for a gain of around 3. And Steffens did all he could to get that. Zethan Feltman will bring him down. Braden Steffens now with 3 catches on the night, 35 yards. And a touchdown catch at the end of that opening half that brought Wahpeton back within striking distance. We may have a flag down on the play here as well. Let's see what this is going to be about. Don Doyle, our referee. And Central's going to elect to enforce a penalty. Not sure what the penalty is here at this point. Block in the back against Wahpeton. So after the catch, block in the back, trying to free up Braden Steffens on the far sideline, and that block in the back is going to back the ball up to Wapeton's 39. So 1st down and 19 for the Huskies. 4 receivers, twin options each side of the field. Trayton King takes the snap, flushed immediately, and throws the ball away. That was caught by the trainer on the far sideline. And again, not sure, the usual suspects have played tonight for Wapeton. We heard down below before the game that there were a lot of injuries for Wapeton, and maybe they've just got injuries that they're managing, but we saw Jack Gilbertson, we saw Trayton King, we saw Michael Peterson, Cooper Colmo, Caden Barth, Braden Steffens, Isaiah Bruchert. Those are the main suspects on the skilled position side for Wahpeton. So perhaps they're healthy there. If there are some injuries, maybe up on the line, that type of thing. Here comes 2nd down and 19 for Wahpeton. Another floating snap, and Trayton King will take the ball himself, drive forward for a gain of about 5. Naz Fisher will get to him and help bring him down. And a stop from Brody Melliker as well. And here comes 3rd down at 13 for the Wapeton Huskies. But we had heard that there were some injuries, so Wapeton still may not be the best version of themselves that they want to be at this point. And yet, down 21-0, they charged back into this football game, made it 21-14. Before Central just came out with that running game and decided to slam the door shut on this one tonight. So here comes 3rd down and 13 for Wahpeton. King out of the shotgun, high snap. Going to call his own number again out of the zone read. Hit and dropped right at the line of scrimmage. Well, actually, gain of 3 back at the original line of scrimmage after the 1st down. And a stop is made for Grand Forks Central's Jaden Vetter, junior defensive lineman, that comes up with the stop. And it will be 4th down and 9 for Trayton King and the Wapeton Huskies. Ball at the 48-yard line. Clock will tick down to about 7 and change to go on this snap. And on 4th down, Wapeton will elect to go for it. 4 receivers, trips to the right. King taking a look. 5 defensive backs for Grand Forks Central. They're in their nickel. King stepping up in the pocket, throws middle, pass is incomplete. Intended over the middle of the football field, trying to find, I believe, Cooper Colmo was the intended target. It was. And there was a couple of pieces there covering, including Tyson Vagno and Brooklyn Bruce. And Central will turn Wapeton over on downs and take over at the Husky 48. with a first down and 10, leading by a score of 42-14 on the all-true scoreboard. And Central now in prime position to run the clock out on this one and get ready for a big measuring stick game coming up next week. The Kindred Vikings come to town, number 2 ranked team in North Dakota, explosive players all over the field. And Central will get their bite at one of the top dogs coming up next Friday night here at Cushman Field. First and 10, pair of receivers left. They'll give the football away to Logan Voorhees. He finds room to work with on the outside numbers across the 40 to 35. He's down to the 30-yard line. Be a pickup of 18 yards for Logan Voorhees. And the march for Grand Forks Central continues as Voorhees knocks down 18. And it's first and 10 for Grand Forks Central at the 30-yard line of Wahpeton. We'll see how the Knights decide to go about putting this away. So they've got Ledecky in the game at the quarterback position. Logan Voorhees would be the 5th running back to play tonight. Trey Clausen is checked in as a wide receiver. Brooklyn Bruce still out there, but I doubt the Knights are throwing the football really at any point in their future. Ledecky ready to take a snap on first down and 10. He'll take it, gives it away to Voorhees, right side, trying to cut back middle, spinning out of a tackle, and Voorhees forces his way inside the 25 down to the 22 for a gain of 8 yards. Going to run out of spots in the score sheet tonight for rushing yardage for Grand Forks Central, but they are well over the 300-yard mark rushing the football tonight. They've just dominated the second half, and that obviously was the game plan coming out of the locker room after some missed opportunities in the passing game and some penalties. And a couple of special teams plays really didn't help for Grand Forks Central in trying to close out that first half tonight. They've done a pretty nice job of closing out here. Second down and 2. Ledecky out of the gun, quick screen pass, and the pass is incomplete. Trey Clausen trying to haul it in. And so here comes third down. And that will stop the clock with 5 minutes and 19 seconds left to go in the matchup. Well, you go back to our tools for the game that we had tonight, brought to you by State Farm Insurance. Logan Karski, your new agent with State Farm Insurance in Grand Forks. You take a look at that list for Grand Forks Central. Naz Fisher, Noah Lease, Fisher, big night, running the football. Brooklyn Bruce, despite dropping the ball a couple of times. Pick 6, couple of interceptions for Brooklyn Bruce tonight. Seems like that sort of measured up to what you want it to be this evening for Grand Forks Central. Third down and 2, Voorhees up the middle, got a big hole up the middle, struggles himself inside the 10. He's down to the 5. Ball came out at the end of the play. The Knights will recover it, and it's going to be first down and goal for Grand Forks Central as Voorhees goes ripping off another 15 yards. So first down and goal for Grand Forks Central. They score again, and the 30-point rule comes into play. Continuous clock through the try. And the finish on this one starts to kind of run itself out. Clock to 4:40 to go here in the fourth quarter. Voorhees back in the game as the running back. Ledecky watching the play clock and more than happy to watch that expire. But you know Logan Voorhees out there, he wants the ball. Homecoming game, you want to find your way into the end zone if you can, right? Shotgun snap, Voorhees up the middle. Hit from behind, Pyle trying to push him. He's down to the 2. Zaid Martin with a touchdown tonight in the passing game. Brooklyn Bruce with a pick 6 tonight. And then Naz Fisher, 4 rushing touchdowns tonight for Grand Forks Central. The Knights running out to this 42-14 lead and now trying to finish it off inside of 4 minutes to go with one more touchdown to get ready for the Kindred Vikings to come into Cushman Field coming up next week. Voorhees in the backfield again with Brody Ledecky out of the pistol. On second down and goal from the 2. Wapeton showing a middle blitz here, trying to clog up the running game. Voorhees to the right, into the end zone for a Knights touchdown. Logan Voorhees will get into the end zone with 3 minutes and 34 seconds to go. And Voorhees likely caps out the scoring with a 2-yard touchdown run tonight, at least the Central scoring. And Central takes the lead to 48-14. Clock moving through the try as Central will have a flag thrown. Now the clock will stop. We're going to have, I believe, an illegal participation penalty coming up here against Central. Too many men on the field, and that's what they're going to have.
Illegal participation penalty on the ice for too many men on the field.
So, let's see if Rylan Dobrovolny can stretch the leg a little bit on homecoming night. Ball will go back to the 8. And this will turn into about a 25, 26-yard extra point try if they decide to kick the football, which I would assume they would. Noah Lease is going to hold it. And Rylan Dobrovolny will come on over and attempt to kick it. And let's see what happens. Kick is on its way for Dobrovolny, and the extra distance doesn't bother him. The extra point kick is good. Clock will stop with 2:49 left to go here in the fourth quarter. Another timeout on the field. Grand Forks Central now leading 49-14 over Wahpeton. This is our coverage of high school football on the Rivards Turf and 4-Inch Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports and KNOX Radio in Grand Forks, and KBMW in Wapeton.
Spray Advantage of Grand Forks carries everything you need for the chemical and fertilizer application on your farm. Pumps, tips, and tanks from 3 gallons all the way up to 10,000 gallons on hand. They can help with parts and accessories for the fertilizer and tillage equipment on your farm too. SprayAdvantage.com.
Apex Apparel is your quick turnaround apparel and promotional item shop in Grand Forks. If you're looking for direct-to-garment printing, embroidery work, or a huge selection of promotional items, come to Apex Apparel, your locally owned, family-run, quick turnaround apparel shop in Grand Forks.
The Ski and Bike Shop proudly supports our local high school athletes on the field, the court, and beyond. Just like sports, adventure starts with the right gear. The Ski and Bike Shop, where your next adventure begins.
Grand Forks Central leading by a score of 49-14 over Wapeton tonight on our All True scoreboard. Scoreboard updates are brought to you tonight by All True. Regular screenings with All True's care team can detect illness before symptoms begin. Stay in the game of wellness. Schedule an appointment. Visit alltrue.org or call 780-5000. Postgame report on the way. We'll take a look at the postgame highlights, so stay with us as we make our way into the postgame show. And our postgame report tonight brought to you by Spray Advantage. Everything you need for spraying an application on your farm. And also brought to you tonight by the Ski and Bike Shop. And we'll take a look at those postgame highlights after a brief break to get our postgame started tonight. Kickoff return for Wapeton that comes out to around the 23-yard line. And then we'll get ready for a big football game coming up next week. A lot of eyes will be on that one as Central's going to wrap this one up tonight, and you'll have a couple of undefeated teams that will be playing each other at Cushman Field next week. And really a nice contrast in styles, although Kindred would probably tell you that their defense is underrated. It's their offense that gets all the headlines with the amount of players that they have that are just so very talented, but you've got what's kind of sets up to be Kindred's offense and Grand Forks Central's defense at that point as the big struggle that will happen coming up on Friday night. Wapeton will have the football. It'll be 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line. And it looks like most of the twos are getting in here. New quarterback for Wapeton. Continuous clock on. Kyler Flack, a freshman, is in the game at quarterback for the Huskies. And it seems like both teams have changed out a good chunk of their personnel at this point with the clock down to under 2 minutes to go. Again, we'll have our post-game report coming up. We'll start with a brief break, and then we'll come back and take you through the highlights in this one tonight. Grand Forks Central with plenty of those this evening. Got it done with the running game this evening, and we saw some big plays out of that gouging running game for Grand Forks Central that will be fun to take a look back through. So stay with us for our post-game report tonight. We'll take you through those plays of the game. On 2nd down, another carry for Wapeton, gummed up the middle.
Oswald on the carry.
And here comes 3rd down. Loss of about 8 on the play for Wapeton. Central will go well over 300 yards rushing tonight. That'll be one of the headlines that comes out of this, and Naz Fisher will be the other tonight as they turn to Naz Fisher to put this thing away tonight. I've got him unofficially for 215 yards and 4 touchdowns tonight. And again, my number's probably missing a few out there. 2:15, though, is what I've got to be close. Into the final minute of this one tonight. Central going to move to 6-0 on the season. Wapeton will be 0-6. Little give in the backfield there as well. And the play clock will not get started before the game clock gets under 40 seconds. Wahpeton will not have the need to have to punt the football here at this point. That should very likely be the finish to this one here tonight. I'm telling you, the scoreboard is going to show 49-14 in this one, but for the Wahpeton fans that are out there, this is a better team than an 0-6 football team right now. They just are. I know the last few years, even when Wahpeton has been good, they've struggled a little bit defensively. That's one thing that they do have to try to clean up. But, boy, I'll tell you what, when they get their players out in space, this is a Wapeton team that can threaten. And they did some of that tonight in the first half when things got away from them, and they were fun to watch when they had their hands on the football tonight. But Central slams the door in the second half. They will score the final 28 of the game, and a big night for Naz Fisher makes it 49-14, your final score on the All True scoreboard tonight. The Knights are 6-0 and Wapeton 0-6. Our post-game report is on the way next. It's brought to you by Spray Advantage in the Ski and Bike Shop, and we'll get to it coming up in a moment on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports.
It's game day, and whether you're feeding the family or the entire team, Hugo's is the place to go. Score big with favorites from the meat department, delicious fresh veggies, and don't forget about the bakery to celebrate the big win. Hugo's Family Marketplace, your game day headquarters.
Thief River Glass handles it all. Aluminum storefronts, auto glass, windows, shower enclosures, and more. Just like our athletes, we're built for every season. No job is too big or too small. Call 218-681-1333 for year-round dependable service.
When you're looking for a change of pace, a change of routine, or a change of scenery, we'll help you find what's next. Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. For you, for life.
Ready to launch your future? At Northland Community and Technical College, opportunity starts here. Train for high-demand technical and skilled trades, or start with an affordable Associates of Arts degree and transfer with ease. Visit northlandcollege.edu.
The Kubota BX Series, rated #1 in durability and owner experience. Talk to your Kubota dealer to schedule a demo.
For expert sales and service, visit Acme Equipment or online at acmekubota.com.
Open all year round to the public, Eagles Crest offers space for holiday parties and family get-togethers. And of course, daily specials, appetizers, and all your favorites, including Sunday brunch buffets. Come in for the view and delicious meals at Eagles Crest Grill.
Whether it's a golf course, your lawn, a pasture on your farm, cover crop, or even a food plot to help you get that big buck, Rivards Turf and Forage of Grand Forks has developed, mixed, and packaged the premium specialized seed you need for almost every application. Go to rivards.com.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
This is the KNOX Postgame Show. Brought to you by the Ski and Bike Shop and Spray Advantage.
We welcome you to our post-game report this evening for Grand Forks Central Knights football on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports, KNOX Radio in Grand Forks, and on KBMW in Wapeton. Ryan Cunningham with you here this evening from Cushman Field. Grand Forks Central rolls up a big win tonight. Final score 49-14. The Knights improve to a record of 6-0. Wapeton will fall to 0-6 this evening. Our post-game report brought to you this evening by the Ski and Bike Shop. They've got the quality products that you're looking for to keep yourself moving this winter. Skis, snowboards, they'll fit you for the boots that you need and do a great job fitting you for those. And of course, Trek bikes, which are the best ones that you're looking for out there. The Ski and Bike Shop and Spray Advantage bringing you our post-game report tonight. Spring Advantage, everything you need for spraying and application on your farm. The difference between Spring Advantage and their competitors is that Spring Advantage has what you're looking for in stock. Tips, tanks, nozzles, pumps, grain carts, seed tenders, and 2 locations to serve you in Grand Forks and St. Thomas. Spring Advantage, make them a part of your agricultural game plan now and for years to come. We'll see Naz Fisher rush for 215 yards and 4 touchdowns tonight. The Knights will rack up over 300 yards rushing, and they really put it together in the running game in the second half and eliminated some mistakes that caused them some problems in the opening half to get the win tonight by a final score of 49-14. Let's go to our highlights tonight, brought to you by Spring Advantage and also brought to you by the Ski and Bike Shop. Get started early. Turnovers did undo Wahpeton a bit in the opening half. Jack Gilbertson, who didn't return after being knocked out of the game late in the first half with an injury, throws one away to Brooklyn Bruce, and on that drive, Grand Forks Central would find the end zone for the first time on a great pass from Noah Lease to Zaid Martin in between a couple of men in coverage. Central took a 7-0 lead at that point. Then another interception that would turn directly into points. Gilbertson rolling to his left, throwing across his body and off his back foot. Bad news. That's picked up by Brooklyn Bruce, and Bruce makes his way into the end zone for a pick 6. That made it 14-0. This would make it 21-0. A jump cut by Naz Fisher. Fisher makes his way down the sideline for 81 yards, but a 96-yard kickoff return for Caden Barth, and then Braden Steffens would come up with a 15-yard touchdown catch at the end of the half, and all of a sudden, it was a 21-14 game at halftime. So we go to the second half, and Grand Forks Central decides to ground pound again with Naz Fisher. And in the second half tonight, we'd see Fisher really roll up his big-time yardage. This one deep in from 9 yards out, just dragging a pile with him into the end zone. He ran like that all throughout the course of the night tonight. That was his first of his 3 second-half touchdowns that he had tonight. Here's the next. Fisher from 26 yards finds the slimmest of margins and just breaking contact and finding his way into the end zone for another score. And then wrap it up late in the game, already leading 35-14. Naz gets one more into the end zone on homecoming night. This one going right up the middle of the football field as well. And Naz Fisher and the Knights roll it out to a 49-14 win tonight. That's your post-game summary, and it's brought to you by Spray Advantage. Everything you need for spraying and application on your farm. The difference between Spray Advantage and their competitors is that they have what you're looking for in stock. Tips, tanks, nozzles, pumps, grain carts, seed tenders. 2 locations to serve you, Grand Forks and St. Thomas. Spray Advantage. Make them a part of your agricultural game plan now and for years to come. And our post-game report brought to you by the Ski and Bike Shop. Ski and Bike Shop with the good products you're looking for. Skis, boot fittings, and snowboards. Lots of different material to get out on the winter snows. And, of course, they've got the truck bikes that you're looking for that are beautiful, high-performing. They work well. The Ski and Bike Shop has the quality products that you're looking for. Ski and Bike Shop. Stop and see them to keep yourself moving. Well, let's go to our post-game awards that we have for tonight. Our Player of the Game award tonight is brought to you by PS Garage Doors. They've been serving the area since 1974. The PS stands for Perfect Service. Any make and model of garage door, to include those of you in agriculture whose implements have become a little bit too large for the current storage container that you're in. They'll come to you, widen the door jamb, and then install the garage door that you're looking for. That's the kind of perfect service that you get from PS Garage Doors. Call 772-DOOR. That's 772-DOOR for PS Garage Doors. Well, you can't overlook Naz Fisher. I mean, this is a pretty easy one tonight, right? 215 yards, 4 touchdowns for Naz Fisher tonight. Had an opportunity to be kind of the mainstay guy tonight, and he took full advantage. Naz Fisher is our Player of the Game award winner. Compliments of PS Garage Doors in Devils Lake and Grand Forks. Our finest cover of the game brought to you tonight by Finest Auto Trim. Big or small, they cover it all. Finest Auto Trim specializes in recovering vehicle and boat and marine seats. If your boat took a little bit of a beating this summer, the sun bearing down on it, that type of thing, perhaps you're not done with it yet. You've got some warm enough weather to use it one more time out there, or maybe more than one more for the weekend, and even the fall. As long as it's not icing up, you're good, right? Finest Auto Trim can recover those seats. They also cover things that you keep outside, like power units. If you've got a power generator, an AC unit that you want to protect, or if you bought something that you're storing outside, they can custom make the cover for you so that you'll have perfect protection outside. Finest Auto Trim, big or small, they cover it all. Well, the Finest Auto Trim, finest cover of the game tonight, Brooklyn Bruce. Didn't have a lot of luck catching the football tonight when he was thrown to by the Knights. I'm sure he's beating himself up for that, but he had a big play early. This pick 6 is a beautiful play by Brooklyn Bruce, dragging men into the end zone with him. He goes in for a 19-yard pick six. That'll be the finest cover of the game tonight, brought to you by Finest Auto Trim. And as long as we're talking about it, let's talk about, obviously, what we had as far as the highlight for the...
Rust, salt, and time are the biggest enemies for a fuel tank. Never fear, because Grand Forks Welding is here to take...
Apologies, folks, for those of you on the video side. Got cut off there for a minute. Just go one more time to Alexis Naz Fisher with our player of the game here tonight. We'll show you the most impressive play that he had tonight. Watch this jump cut right here. Cuts back to the inside, makes a man miss. He was doing that all night long, and then decides to turn some speed into it as well. So our player of the game, Naz Fisher, and our finest cover of the game, Brooklyn Bruce, here tonight. And our final item that we have here tonight is our Northland Community and Technical College Points Against Hunger. A great opportunity that we have partnering with Northland Community and Technical College. For every way that our teams at home score, dollars are raised to fight hunger in East Grand Forks, the Pioneer Food Pantry, with Northland Community and Technical College. They have the liberal arts degree that you're looking for, and you can get it started at Northland Community and Technical College for less, right in your own backyard in East Grand Forks. Northland Community and Technical College with Points Against Hunger tonight. The Knights are in the end zone 7 times. $7 will be donated by Northland Community and Technical College to the Pioneer Food Pantry and East Grand Forks for Points Against Hunger. Again, brought to you tonight by Northland Community and Technical College. That's going to do it for our post-game report this evening. Again, presented by the Ski and Bike Shop. Quality products, truck bikes, snowboards, and snow skis in Grand Forks. And also brought to you tonight by our friends at Spray Advantage. Everything you need for spraying and application on your farm. Next broadcast is coming up on Tuesday. We'll be back at it with soccer between West Fargo and Grand Forks Red River. That could clinch a spot in the state tournament for the Rough Riders. Big one coming up on Tuesday. Then we'll have volleyball on Thursday and football on Thursday. Central, Red River, and volleyball on the video and radio side, maybe. Stay tuned for further details. And also on Thursday, East Grand Forks in their next matchup at home. We'll have that one for you on KNOX Live Sports as well. And then we're back at Cushman Field on Friday, and it's a big one. The Kindred Vikings come to town. We anticipate Kindred undefeated. Central is undefeated. Could be 2 undefeated football teams getting together next week to start deciding some early positioning for a playoff run. Join us for that coming up next Friday here on KNOX Radio and KNOX Live Sports as well. Want to thank Jacob Lindemann, who was our videographer tonight, our studio engineer at KBMW in Wapeton, for keeping us on the air this evening, and all of you for joining us all throughout the region, and also our premier sports partners, Rivard's Turf and Forage, a premium seed dealer in Grand Forks. Find their products at rivards.com, and Grand Trailer Sales, your home for all things trailer in East Grand Forks. Once again, your final score this evening from Cushman Field is Grand Forks Central 49 and Wapeton 14. For KNOX Live Sports and for KBMW, I'm Ryan Cunningham. On the video side, we'll see you next time. On the radio side, we join regular programming already in progress.